Joy and Jerry. Think tank, think tank.
They're streaming just what you needed. Glad that you're here.
What's up, Troy?
Yeah, happy Friday, Jerry.
Good to see you, man.
Whew, good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. It's been a week.
I'm ready for a good weekend, man.
I'm ready for a good weekend too.
I'm gonna get really fucked up.
I got to hit that thing.
A pretty special piece, man.
Got some vapes to beat up.
They're streaming just what you needed. Glad that you're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Troy.
And Jerry.
Woo! Oh, that was a way back throwback. Was that like our first ever theme song, man? It was great.
Dude, there's so many themes listed over there in the sidebar. I don't know which one to choose anymore.
Right? You don't even know which one you're getting. It's like a a mixed bag. Just pick one. Boom, here we go. So that was fun though, man. Happy Friday, Troy.
Happy Friday, Jerry. Did you have a good week last week? We took the week off.
Yeah, dude. We weren't here last Friday. I went to Orlando. I had a good time. Did a little bit of Universal. My oldest turned 30, so we got to have like several days with the family hanging out, having a blast. It was a real good time, man. We had a real good time. So
You say your oldest turned 30?
yeah,
Okay.
so 30-year-old man. That's interesting as a parent. Not as interesting as I thought it would be. Like I didn't like wake up and go, oh fuck, I'm old. I just I always saw that one coming. I was like, yeah, that's coming,
That's crazy how that works, isn't it?
right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, dude, let me show you what happened, man. I took a vape down there to test out. I had the worst glass time with this vape. I had 3 different problems. The first one, it came with a bubbler, and I ended up cutting my finger pretty good here. And it's all better, but you can see the aftermath. I had a big flap that came up.
Those skin flaps are the worst.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. It was a mouthpiece that was broken in the bubbler, and as I pulled it out, it was caught, or it was in the bag, and then it slipped out and got me good. I was like, motherfucker. And then a few days later, I was using a different glass mouthpiece, and there was a piece of metal end of it, and I pulled the metal out and started breaking the glass. I'm like, motherfucker. And then the last day with this same fucking vape, I broke one of my Gordito minis as it just fell off the fucking thing. I'm like, dude, this vape and glass are not doing well for me right now.
No glass for you tonight, Jerry.
Oh shit, bro. It was all messed up, man. What the hell? So
Wow. What glass broke? You said it was the stem that broke in the vape?
the first one, it was in the bag that it came with. And so I was just pulling it out of its pocket, but it was stuck. And when I pulled it, either the mouthpiece was caught on a net and broke, and it just sheared off a little bit, or it broke in transit and was caught and then slipped to me when it came through.
Out of the net? What was it coming out of? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, it was one of those bags, one of those little cases, and on one side is a little net that holds all your shit over here, and on the right side,
one of those.
Yeah, and so it was either caught on the net and ripped off, or it was already broken and caught on the net. By the way, by the time it got to me, it had enough of that shit. So. And then the other one I couldn't believe, man, like it had 2 little metal things in it, and I was pulling one out and it started shattering the glass on the edge. I'm like, motherfucker. But the Gordito, that was weird. I was just carrying the vape, and all of a sudden the whole mouthpiece fell off. I thought I had it on. It didn't. I'm like, shit, I'm not using this vape anymore. Glass. I need a wood mouthpiece for this fucking thing.
God damn.
Yeah, dude. So, I had that going for me. That fucking. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the worst vape cut I ever had was, I think you were with me even. That SSV 43, the little metal thing for the Silver Surfer that holds the wand in the heater. There's like a metal thing that locks in. Thing was fucking like razor sharp on one edge and just like sliced my thumb wide open.
The hands-free ring that holds it on there.
Dude, it was so sharp that I could shave with it. Like I could scrape it against my forearm and cut hair off my arm. That's how sharp that piece of metal was. Yeah.
I don't like that at all, bro.
Don't like that.
No. Fuck all of that. Yeah, so there you go, folks. Be careful.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your week off in Orlando, despite almost cutting your finger off.
Right. That was crazy. That was crazy. Nah, it was fun, man. I mean, my family's big enough and fun enough to where all we got to do is just get together, set the stage, and then we all just have fun together. So it was a lot of fun, man. We had several days of just fucking around. It was great. Good to be back home, though, man. And I'll tell you, being away from home for a week, what do you think I missed the most, Troy?
Your ball vape?
No, I took the Moab with me. That was down
Oh,
there,
you
man.
took-
No problem. Yeah, the Moab was with me, bro. I was not going to be a week without that.
Okay. So what do I think you missed the
Not
most?
vape related. I took everything I needed vape related. It was something else. What do you think I missed? I bet you somebody in the chat knows. What was that? What did I miss the most?
Raid Shadow Legends on your PC?
That's a good call. Not quite though, man. That was good. No, I don't have a cat anymore. Sierra Leaf. Percy's down in Tampa now. I'm in Jacksonville. So okay. I was waiting for the chat to kick in because thank you, G Hicks or G Hicks 3 or
Your
whatever.
bidet?
Yes, I just used it. I came back to use it and I was like, oh my gosh, I missed. No, she was with me, man. My wife was with me, Bubble Girl. So yeah, man. Guys, if you don't have a bidet, get one before you can't. One of these days, something weird's gonna happen. It'll be like on Castaway, where you know, he's wishing he'd gotten his tooth taken out when he had a dentist, and now he's on the island, has to knock it out himself. You're gonna be like that one day with a bidet. You're not gonna get it, and you're like, fuck, all those years I could have just gotten on Amazon and gotten a bidet, and now what?
I don't know how that relates. You're Tom Hanks on an island knocking his tooth out. How does that connect to the bidet again?
Because in that movie, he meant to go to the dentist before he ever got on the plane, and he didn't.
Right.
And so he had a tooth problem. And then later in the movie, he has to take his tooth out, and he's like, "Fuck! If I'd have just gone to the dentist when I was back home, like I should have, I wouldn't have this problem right now," which I just went through as well. So same idea. Where I don't, you know, what if you can't get a bidet someday, and you'll be like, "Damn! All those times Jerry was saying I should get one, and now I can't." Is all I'm saying. You might not always have access to unlimited bidets. Is all I'm saying. So that's all. You should probably shut me up and get me into something productive like marriage.
How about we have a bowl real quick? Can we do a bowl before the
That
news?
sounds great. You pick the strain for me, bro. Am I going with carbon fiber, pice cream, or LCG?
Oh my God, you're busting out the snow till. I would say the LCG.
Okay.
Because I'm
good.
vaping on a gelato as well. Gelato
right on.
33.
Like to hear that.
I like those big tight backs.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great. So that's what we'll go with here today.
Anybody miss us last week? Anybody doing anything fun?
Yeah, talk to me, Goose.
It was weird. Like I was out doing things, and I kept getting that like anxiety, like that little like I'm supposed to be somewhere right now. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Right.
I almost didn't have a good night, you know, because of the no show. Like I felt weird doing things and scheduling. Like, oh yeah, we can go to Raising. I took my daughter to Raising Cane's, which, by the way, I want to talk about. I've been torn on Raising Cane's for a couple years now. Like the kids love the chicken fingers. I'm cool with the chicken fingers. I'm cool with Raising Cane's. Their food is good, but I didn't think it was worth the hype. You know, like all the kids go there and they line up there. But hear me out now. I've always brought it home. I've always gone to the drive-thru or used the app, taking it home. On Friday, my daughter and I went to Raising Cane's and ate there. Like we went in, stood in line, ordered food, and then ate it as soon as we got it. And holy balls, Jerry, Raising Cane's hits different when it's fresh. Fresh canes. It's fire as fuck. It's fire as fuck.
Okay, so that's funny that you brought this up because I went to Raising Cane's for the first time. I never heard of it until Tuesday.
What?
And, yeah, I never heard of this fucking thing. I'm like, what the fuck is Raising Cane? I know what the saying is. So, but we did exactly what you said. We went and got the shit, brought it back, and didn't start eating it for 25 to 30 minutes. Just take that long to get home, get everybody there all set, blah blah blah. And the first thing that my daughter said was, "You really need to eat it there to understand."
Yeah.
So yeah. right? But it's a zoo, dude. It's a zoo. And we lucked out. We had the app. We somehow got into the parking lot, got a space, weaseled in. I mean, it was like somebody was taking care of us. But when they went there the week before, it took them 30 minutes just to get to the drive-thru.
Dude, when they first open up, especially, I mean, the ones here in California, they ruin the entire area for a few months because like traffic will be fucked up from the extra long drive-through line at Raising Cane's. It's wild. It's wild. Like I remember when Raising Cane's opened next to the Chick-fil-A that I used to go to. Stop going there for a while. Like you'd think that it would help. People would like, oh, maybe people will not go to Chick-fil-A so much and go to Raising Cane's. Fuck no. I think it made it worse. I think people would like, oh, let's go to the new Cane's, and they'd go out there and they'd be like, fuck, there's 4 million people in line. Let's go to that Chick-fil-A. There's only 2.5 million people in that line. And then they would go there. And both lines would be fucking ridiculously long.
Right on, man. Cheers, by the way.
Oh, I don't know what you're hitting, but cheers.
Gotta get some weed in us for this thing, man. That's hilarious. You're bringing up Raising Cane, and I finally just went there for the first. I never heard of it, and you're bringing it up. That's how shit works, right?
I brought it up before. We've talked about it before.
Well, and I didn't know about it.
I guess you just never pointed it out to me that you didn't have it.
Woo! Damn. I guess you're in the
chat.
chat.
What is that? Is that a
Gordito Lobo?
Oh, I thought it was a 510 mod with like a Splinter Z or something on there. I'm like, what in the fuck, Jerry? What are you doing?
Right. No, this is the Gordito I didn't break.
Well, that's good.
Right? You gotta have Gordito you don't break.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready to do the work portion of our show.
All right, you ready? You got like the buttons pushed at all?
No, not yet. But I can push them now. You ready?
You got your thing shared that you want to pull up as soon as we get to the other side and all that?
No, I don't. Should I? Should I do that?
Well, we take one Friday off. We don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore.
Bro, right?
I don't know what's going on, man. How do we do this now, man?
Oh, yeah. See, now you fucked it up, Jerry. We're not supposed to do that.
Oh, no. Get that out of there.
Let's do the news.
I'm doing water bottles this time. You got a milk cart.
I got a gallon of chocolate milk.
It's chocolate milk. I love it. Drink more water. Brought to you by Planet of the Vapes and the Vapor News. Or chocolate milk if you're Troy. Thought you were going all grape soda on that for me for a second there, bro.
Dude, I felt it. Like it was like one of those things where like, oh, I can't stop. Don't do the whole thing. Don't do the whole thing.
You were about to. I felt it. I felt it, man.
Chocolate milk is one of those things. I won't tell you right now, but I can tell you some stories about drinking way too much chocolate milk where I got sick.
Let's hear that after the news. That'd be fun.
Yeah, dude, look at this giant ad on top of Forbes. But Forbes, big feature on Dope is Yola. Huge feature. Going into detail about his Spotify deal and his clothing brand and his podcast and his TED Talk. Massive feature. Huge props for Dope is Yola and the whole team. Big brand stuff over there, making big waves as a cannabis content creator, doing big brand shit, doing big company shit, making the cannabis space look good, and just crushing it, That's just crushing it.
I'm still wondering what happened with his sickness. So I guess he's recovered or back or something. So
I thought this was interesting. Towards the end of this article, it talks about his upcoming paper brand. He's going to be launching his own brand of rolling papers. And I know he's got a bunch of partnerships with Raw. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the industry.
Ooh, nice. Maybe he'll be the new Raw guy.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe that'll just create more drama. I don't know, but now I know why he probably won't ever cross into the ball vape space. Love to see Dope as Yola hit a ball vape and help spread some awareness on like real vaporizers, not those pussy ass shit that he's pushing. No offense.
Yeah, that day's a coming.
Someday.
I can see it, but it seems to be further away than I ever thought. But it's coming. It's coming, man. So
Yeah, we're trying. We're out there. We're trying to get some. Oops, opened the wrong one.
right. I'm stoked about his Spotify deal. That's dope. And all those bags of weed that he's got at the cover shot of this thing is really fucking cool. So way to go, Yola, man.
Yeah, the Spotify deal. I've seen him in or heard him in some Spotify commercials. So it's nice to see Spotify leveraging cannabis brands in their whole profile. You know, like embracing the cannabis culture helps normalize it. You know, maybe someday we'll see YouTube not deleting cannabis brands.
Right?
Could be a thing. Could be a thing.
I like where you're going here, man. I like where you're going.
I got to do this one different so we can get some audio. Somebody mentioned earlier that I went to the Growers Gauntlet in LA, and I think we talked about it in the news that we published last week. But since we didn't stream last week, I've seen it. We're actually doing our news stuff as a standalone when we're not here. But I met the guys from the Dude Grows show, as well as everybody from AC Infinity and from the Stash. You guys had met Pigeons 420 and Mr. Grow It. We talked about that in the news last week. But I took my ball vape there. I took the Ace and I vaped a bunch of people out, including the Dude and Scotty. And they talk about it a little bit in this episode. Here, let me just play the clip. All right, Jerry?
Get the fuck out, yeah.
Helped out, and that was very cool. And
I got down on some dry herb vaping, man, on this snazzy device.
Look at you over here. What is that? Is that the volatilizer?
No,
What is that? That's dry herb bong.
Yep,
Wow.
exactly. There's a dry herb bong, and actually, standing there is Troy, and he's with the 420vapezone.com.
He looks worried. He's gonna fall. He's not gonna pass out, Troy. He's gonna pass out.
Hey, I'll give you a tip. He put that on there, and I pulled up into the bong, and it filled up, and I took one really good hit, and he's like, okay, and then he's like, finish it. I'm like, no, I'm good at that. Like, I felt bad saying it, but it's like you do not have to commit to a ball full in Dude's world. So I'm at the party. Maybe I'm going to get a little too elevated. Scotty, you can shake your head. But yeah, Troy was cool to share, and that was a cool ass dry vape. A lot of volume.
God, I feel like a dick because I gave somebody a dab one time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was he was saying I told him before he even hit it. I'm like if you want the best performance, hit it hard, hit it fast, fill your lungs completely up. Like you can rip this as hard as you want, it won't let off. To finish the bowl, take a full fast inhale. And he was like, listen, he's like, I'll take as much as I want to take, and I'm not going to take any more. Like I'm at this party. I don't want to be obliterated. I'm like, okay, man, whatever.
It's funny. I love it, dude. Nice work, man. That's awesome. I'm stoked. Getting some word out. That was a great picture you had there and all that. That was awesome,
dude. It was so cool vaping with those guys. It really was. It was a fascinating experience. Even like I said, sharing that mini bowl, Jerry, because I used the pinch hitter bowl with my Ace, because that's my favorite bowl, and I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be enough. Like people wouldn't be impressed by the smaller bowl, because it's not as like a kick in the pants as much as like the full bowl is, you know?
Right.
But it's still enough, and I think it's even more impressive when they see the tiny amount. Like I got that hit off of that. Like that's a one hitter amount.
Blows their minds, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking great that way. I love it. Nice work, dude.
Yeah. And then speaking of well, maybe not quite blowing minds, but the DaVinci IQ.
Yeah, you
Came
got it. I
out?
don't have mine yet. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I got mine. I put out a video. I also got a little mini review on my website. It's here. It's bigger. It's basically like a scaled up DaVinci IQ 2. So it's bigger. The little flavor chamber has a spiral in there now to cool the vapor. Everything is bigger. The bowl is bigger. The flavor chamber is bigger. The battery is bigger. The device is bigger. The holes in the mouthpiece is bigger. The airflow is bigger. The price is bigger. 0.7 grams is what the bowl holds, though.
Is the battery removable?
Yeah, 21,700.
Okay. It looks like, honestly, I have to pull out my old Ascent. It looks like it's about the size of the Ascent from back in the day. And the Ascent has a very similar shape. Like that's where they landed on that shape to begin with. So that's kind of cool, man. Everything kind of comes full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sweet. So the word is out now. Very good.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna cover this in a couple weeks. I don't know if it's next week or when. But yeah, big old battery in there.
Oh man, I fucking
The
love
IQ
that.
3.
The IQ 3. Bucker, man.
Yeah.
Let me.
and then
What's that?
I said you got the fourth one.
Yeah. Let me see what I can find here. It's I thought this was kind of interesting here, man. There's a U.S. Senate committee has approved a bill to limit the ability of federal agencies to use past marijuana use as a factor in making employment and security clearance decisions. That's good, right? Because you're applying for a government job, they can't say, "Oh, you had weed in your past. You can't have the gig." And so, but what I loved about it is the legislation is titled, this is great, man, the Dismantling Outdated Obstacles and Barriers to Individual Employment, or the Doobie Act, motherfucker. They literally named it the Doobie Act, and I love it. It's
Doobie
like
Act.
the Senate committee approved it. So if you hear anything about the Doobie Act, it's not a fucking joke. It's actually trying to help you be able to get a job with the government, even if you have any record or a medical card or something. So there's actually big news, but I just thought it was funny because they bothered to come up with a Doobie Act, an acronym.
Doobie
for it.
Act.
So that's fucking brilliant, man. So anyhow, there you go. That's what I wanted to show you.
Very good. Very good.
That's-
Is that short news week this week? There's one more thing that I forgot to put on there. Damn it. I was faded last night. We can cover it next week. That's not
Okay.
It's about Delta 8 and the farm bill. So
All right, we'll hit that next week. Then nice.
yeah,
In that
we can
case,
cover that next week. Sounds good.
that's the news.
That's the fucking news.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, brought to you by Planet of the Vapes, Jerry.
Fuck yeah, they're awesome. All right.
I need another bowl. I just try to I feel like I fell off my bike somewhere.
Yeah, let's pack another bowl. And then anyhow, this is where we usually like to open it up to the chat, man. If you guys in the chat have any questions you want to ask, why don't you throw them in there while we're packing and rolling with a bowl here, man. I'm gonna pack another one too.
Episode 2 of Ask Troy and Jerry Anything.
Yes.
There were some good ones. What was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that we did this?
Mhm.
That was a good one. It was a fun time.
I liked it because some of the questions were like, okay, you're going to talk about them. And others were like real fast, this or that. So it's kind of cool, just kind of which way you're going to go with it, man. So
First one.
why am I high enough? Well, I ask that question myself a lot. I think it's because we try to get high all the time. Like, yeah, man, there's no way about it. You take a day or two off and you get fucking blitzed when you come back to it. So
Yeah. Taking some time off really helps. Exercise, drinking water, things like that.
right.
Yeah, it goes back to like highs and lows of life. Like if everything is always the best, if you're always getting the best of everything, it creates an impossible curve and there's no perspective. Like sometimes you gotta suffer. You gotta be bored in order for like the highs to be better,
Yeah, there's no good without bad. There's no high without low. Right on. Way to put it out there, Troy. I like that.
Yeah.
So, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm a big fan of picking dog names that are funny to yell out loud in the park when you're trying to catch your dog.
Yes.
Like I think it would be fun to have a dog named like Bitch, just so like you could be in the park and just, Bitch, you know,
awesome.
and people are like, what's going on? And you're like, oh, I'm just trying to get my dog, you know.
You probably want a name that makes it. You can run around like you got Tourette's and just like yell that shit out everywhere. How about in honor of the Senate committee, you could go with Doobie or something like that. I think Doobie would be a fun name for a dog or something like that.
Yeah,
Doobie the dog.
Yeah,
Could do something like that.
That's a good one. That's a fun one. Doobie.
I like Doobie.
Let me think about it throughout the night. Well, if I come up with some more.
That's a good idea. Bong water? Is bong water any good? You could go bong water out in the park.
Bong water. Is the industry expanding? It's moving. I think it's hard to judge because lateral movements where we see new brands all the time, and then we see familiar faces across retiring brands and new brands. Like right now, like this Synergy innovation, the new Da Vinci brand, like it's familiar faces. And I'm actually glad that those familiar faces are back because there's a bunch of familiar faces in the industry that I think the industry would be better without. Not going to name any names, but there's some shitty people. There's some shitty people in this space, and it's a turnoff. It's been a turnoff for me, and it's been a turnoff for a lot of people. I've watched a lot of people leave the industry. I've watched people come in to the industry all hopeful and optimistic, and then watch the piss get kicked out of them for 6 or 9 months, and watch a completely different person, 12 months later. It's
yeah, a lot of turnover, rotation kind of stuff. Like
a lot of turnover.
I think it's expanding a little bit. I did read something that said that they thought in 2037, 2030, 35 or 2037, basically 10 years out, that we would be like a $27 billion industry, which is considerably bigger than it is now. So I do think something's expanding there, but everything rotates on a cycle. Like I was just in a meeting talking about some brands and where they're going. And there were 2 or 3 brands that we pulled up and we're like, these brands look like they're on the way out. They're still making vapes, but they're not promoting them. They're not making anything new, and they're not selling for shit. It's like, is anybody that's still there? And
yeah,
the big companies and little companies, not just little garage companies, like some of the big companies too. But then I get excited about seeing some of the new things that came out, whether it's from old companies like Arizer or new companies like Taffy or some shit for dabs like we've seen. I mean, some of the tech that comes out every now and then, Troy, makes me go, oh, wow, man, people are paying attention to this shit.
Yeah. It's neat to see it evolve. And there's always going to be, the desire and the vision that people aren't doing enough, especially as enthusiasts. Like we kind of really hone in on differentiators and preferences. And I like just relating to like how Vape Critic got bored with the slow motion of the industry. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. Like
It does. I mean, it takes time just to develop a concept, Troy. So
yeah, for sure. What temp ball vapes? For me, cordless, I'm at 620 on most of them. If I have to go higher, if I have to go like 650, 700, I kind of get lost, especially if it doesn't taste good, because usually when I get to that temp, it doesn't taste good to me anymore. With corded, depends on the vape, but usually 560, 600, somewhere in there.
A good 50 to 75 degrees cooler on both those. So like my wireless, I'm usually at about 550. And then my wired, I'll come in around 490, 475, something like that. So yeah, real. It's interesting that the differences are the same. It's just we're at a different level of temperature across the board. So Yeah, it sounds like the delta between wired and wireless is 50 to 75 degrees as far as trying to get something that's, similar hit.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Stainless steel cooling. I don't have the one for the Venty. I had a couple of them for the Mighty and the Crafty, and I like the way they look, but overall, nah. I don't think they cool the vapor. If anything, they take away some of the signature, and they're heavy, potentially sharp. I've had those things that could peel potatoes with those metal cooling units. They were just like ice skate your edges,
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you and go a step further. I literally have never liked those. I don't like them. They're really heavy. They make the vape top heavy, easy to fall over. Like Troy said, they can be sharp. Somebody who makes these things is going to be bummed at me about this, but the thing that I really don't like about them, especially with the Venti, because I've seen with the one with the Venti, is it's not a cooling unit. Like it doesn't have the structure of a Venti cooling unit. It's got a totally different vapor path, and
it's like a different little maze.
Yeah, it's like, and it's not going to work as well. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that thing at all. And then I just don't like the look either. Like it gives it a two-tone look that doesn't make sense to me. So, I'm sorry if you like that thing. I'm not down on you. I just personally, we all got our own opinions. I don't like it.
Yep. I watched this orangutan thing on Netflix recently that was super interesting. I apologize, I don't remember what it was called. My daughter recommended it, and she chose it and played it. The guy that was narrating it, the way he pronounced orangutan was peculiar, because he was like orang-utang. It was like a completely different word to me.
Like, what the fuck is that? That's great. I love it.
But it was fascinating. It was fun stuff.
What are your favorite movies or something you watched recently and enjoyed? Oh, damn it. I wish I could remember the name of it. I watched a series recently that was really good. It was on Netflix. It's fairly new. And it's if you guys in the chat know this one, call it out. I may have even mentioned it. It's about the scientists are dying, and they've got this little helmet that they can put on that plays a game, and they think that's why they're dying. And then it turns out that this is a connection to an alien civilization that's on the way, and we got to figure out what to do. But luckily we have time, because we know Three Body Problem. Thanks, Rick the Painter. Three Body Problem is badass. Like, I've watched it twice. I'll probably watch it again. It's one of those real thinkers. I fucking like it a lot.
Okay. I've never heard of it. I'll have to check it out.
Dude, yeah, just get the first one. Put on Netflix. Watch the first 30 minutes if you don't.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Oh,
yeah,
it's a series.
Netflix. Yeah, it's got. We only have one. Unfortunately, there's only one season right now. I would like to have like 10 of them.
It's been a long time since I found myself too stoned. If anything, it's mostly like I vape too much to do what I wanted to do, and now I'm gonna nap on the couch. Like that's what happens when I get too stoned.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me very often either. Usually if I do, it's I've gone really hard on some sativa and didn't realize it, or I've had a little better sativa dab than I thought. It's always the sativas that fuck with me. And I'm kind of like you, Troy. When I get too high, I get a little active and chatty, and so I'll try to settle down a little bit, and try to just calm down, maybe have some tea or something, slow it down a little. You can sleep it off, but who wants to do that?
Yeah. I enjoy naps, especially now as the weather gets cool and there's like cool breeze. Like today I slept on the couch.
Nice.
And Dexter snuggled up with me. It was the nicest fucking thing in the world.
Love that.
Yeah. I actually took a picture of it because it was so cute. Well, maybe I'll show you later when we're high.
Yeah. The most trippy you ever got from bud? That for me, that was when I was in college. Like when I first started doing weed in college, I would veg out. I would get high and retreat to my room and turn off the lights and put on some music and lay on my water bed and just sit there and feel the hairs of my head against the pillow, like really fucking trippy. We got into the habit of getting some bottles and some wax and we would just sit there and melt the wax and let it watch and just watch melting wax dripping down a bottle when you're high is fun as shit. And then you start doing different colors and making shit. And we had some impressive bottles after a few months.
All right.
What
Yeah,
you?
I don't know. I've had a few times where the strain really got me. I think when I did an early harvest and vaped a bunch of clear trichomes of my own fresh, I had some incidents where like there was like a dust ball on the floor and I thought it was a fucking dead mouse. You know, like I was just so fucked up that like my eyes were playing tricks on me easily. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Who's going to be the Bud Light of weed when things get to that scale? Probably Bud Light or Walmart or Costco. Like one of those big brands will pop in. They'll buy cookies or something like that. Like cookies will get sold to Costco. And then it'll be like Kirkland cookies. And that'll be like the massive brand in 2032. Kirkland cookies.
Bud Light. That's interesting. Like, who's gonna like? Okay, well, first we got some work to do. I mean, it has to be nationally legal first, so we're a ways off. But that's an interesting question, man. Like, when we get to that point, when that can actually become a thing, like when a company can actually do that, who's going to do it? And I would imagine it's a company that's already there. Like maybe it's the pharmaceuticals, maybe it's one of the alcohol companies, maybe it's a food company. You know, I don't know. One of those fuckers is going to do it. I mean, they're already claiming that's what's going on in Florida with the new law that we're going to vote on in November. Is the people who are against it are saying it's just creating a monopoly, you know, for bigger companies, and they're probably right, but they ain't giving us anything better.
Yeah, again, I run 620. Sometimes I do notice that it vapes unevenly. I think it depends on how hard I hit it. I noticed on this bong, it happens a little more frequently than the bubbler from Vapvana. And I think it's because this piece has more airflow, and I can create channels or whatever it happens that causes it to not vape quite so much around the outside. I can do it more easily with this bong.
So you find the bong makes a difference for you in an uneven roast?
At least with this setup, yeah. I think it correlates at least. That's
interesting. And it might, because I was going to suggest the two things I do when I find I'm doing that. The first thing I do is I lower my temperature and I don't draw as hard or long. You know, I kind of give the bowl a little bit of break. If you're overcooking one side, it's still overcooking. So I want to first get rid of the overcook and then see if that helps it roast any more evenly. But then you might be getting too far away from the hit you want.
I think that's where that other bubbler comes in, because that one has a tighter draw. So I can draw faster, harder on this one. The other one probably keeps it a little more in that sweet spot, or underdraws it probably.
Is the other one a 14 mil?
No.
Okay.
But it has a tight mouthpiece.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? The one from Vapvana, the big bubbler or whatever.
The big league bubbler, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a weird mouthpiece. It's tight.
I hadn't noticed it's tight because, you know, I don't pull as hard as you do. But it probably is. But I like that bubbler. I took it with me down to Orlando, and it's been fun running around with that lately.
This guy sells these debowlers on the Ent Exchange Discord, but they're expensive, these ones. I used one of those cheap Amazon ones for years, and there's nothing wrong with those. Those are great debowlers. I mean, they're like $6 on Amazon.
I'm going to show you this later. I'll show you now since it's in the question. But this is the debowler that I've been using literally for months as I fucked with it. And they just put it on the Planet of the Vapes website.
There you go.
It's been on other sites too. But I changed the spike. I made the spike a little longer because the other spike wouldn't work with my herborizer bowls. And I needed one where the spike could go all the way down. And so I had the spike. The other one would stop here and then I couldn't get to the screen. So I like that about this. And then I'll show you a little later how I use it for dosing capsules. It's pretty dope. When I break out the Lobo next, I'll show you that too. But this has been fun for me, man. It's small. I take it all over the house with whatever vape I'm using at the time. I just take a scoop, this brush, a grinder of weed, and a vape. Pick a vape, and I'm set to run around the house. So I've kind of enjoyed that. That's more of a functional one you can get, and whereas Troy's is fucking decorative, beautiful. You know what I mean? Like a totally different kind of a run at it. So. Oh, online store for finding tea. It's been a while, but if I were you, I would go to the Mad Herbalist. And I know you can find them on Instagram. They might have a website, but they're in Clarksville, Tennessee. And I know they sell their shit online now, but best teas I've ever had. Best teas I've ever had. Loved it, bar none. They were great. You could go up to their cool ass place and get a flight of teas. And you can get hot tea, iced tea, or you can get carbonated tea. It's fucking great. So give them a look.
I think so. I think it hits better than the Mercury does.
I haven't done any side-by-sides yet, but just naturally I tend to reach for the screwball more. But at this point, I've just got them in different places. You know what I mean? Like this many of my brother, I got a screwball here, the fucking Moab over there, the hammer downstairs. It's just, so I'm using them all. Honestly, I think you'd be happy with any of them. I wouldn't sweat it. But yeah, if you're into the fine, subtle nuances, then I think I think Troy and I probably prefer the screwball a little bit. I would.
It depends on what head you're like. If you already have the Mercury, I don't know if spending another $110 on the screwball or the Ace head, sorry, is worth it. Does it come with rubies? If you buy the Ace for 110,
pretty sure it comes ready to roll. We'd have to look it up, but I'm almost certain it comes with the rubies. So,
okay.
But yeah, I would that actually is what I would like. Like I love I would probably first pick Moab with a screwball. Was probably out of all this shit when I'm running around. That's probably what I'd like the most.
All right, I'm looking for more questions. If there's any more questions, get them in the chat.
Good in there. Did you get all the ones you wanted?
I really like Super Boof is one of my favorites, and then Pie Scream is up there as well. I love the grape flavor.
I'm kind of nostalgic, and I don't even know if when I was in college, I had something called Gainesville Green, and it was pretty much just meant good stuff when you got it from Gainesville. But it turns out it was a strain, and it was a few years ago that Sunshine Cannabis here in Florida worked with the guy who was growing that back in the day and came up with a nice little 510 cart with the stuff, and it was great. Amazing sativa. Really like me some Gainesville Green. If you showed up with some Gainesville Green, it'd be the first thing I hit.
All right. Never heard of it. This is a big question, complicated. I don't know if I can answer, like, because my access to stoner culture up until 2013 was Illinois, small town, and the culture in the Midwest. And I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm just saying it. I'm saying it how it is. It's like the Midwest is like a first in, last out area. So like when recession hits, the Midwest is the first area to get shitty, and they're the last area to recover. When new things come out, the Midwest is the last place to get it. Like I remember going to California as a kid with my dad and seeing cherry Pepsi everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? And then going back to Illinois, and it's nowhere. Like no one's ever heard of it. It's like, how come they got cherry Pepsi in California? And then like a month or 3 later, like, oh, we finally get cherry Pepsi now. You know, it's like, sorry, the culture that I had access to in the cannabis space, since it was taboo and illegal in Illinois. I just don't think that it was significant enough to be worthy. Like I consider myself a weed virgin up until 2013. Like I consider all of that like tainted by whatever I was blinded by, you know?
Yeah. I think for me, like, I mean, I wasn't really into the culture until probably 15 years ago, 16, 17 years ago. So it wasn't like my first 35 years I was into this stuff, but probably when I got about 40 is when I started getting into it. But what I've noticed is, when you see it in the movies too, like I saw some movie the other day come on, I forget what it was. It wasn't How High, but it was one of those types of movies. And one of the guys in it was such an over the top idiot stoner as his character that I was just like, man, that's way outdated. And I think what I've noticed mostly is the way people used to depict stoners was always stupid idiots. And now that's not the case. Like now you'll still see those movies come out. They're still fun to get high and watch, and they're funny. But I see a whole lot more, more positive, productive use. You start to see it more in just natural social settings or even work. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people can be productive on this shit. So, I think I've noticed that as we've kind of grown out of that stigma is grown up. I think it's not gone, but it's grown up.
Yeah, it's not
easily challengeable.
Yeah, there's been a lot of normalization of smart stoners and productive stoners, successful stoners, and it's been more normalized and accepted and proven now. Like,
I have not vaped tea or coffee, but Troy has vaped coffee with some very interesting results.
I have, and I vaped coffee beans in my Dynavap per the instruction of George. George recommended it. George from Dynavap recommended it, and it definitely affected me. Made me a little bit racy, like vaping a couple of coffee beans, getting that caffeine. It's a very small amount of caffeine, but it's like very instant. Didn't make me feel all that good after a few of them, and I kind of crashed from it. I had like a caffeine nap, and then a few people commented on that video saying that when you roast green coffee beans, there's like a toxin that's produced and gassed off that you don't want to inhale. Okay. And they weren't for sure that re-roasting an already roasted coffee bean would not produce that gas. So I was advised to be careful with vaping coffee because of that reason. And I couldn't find any sure science on it or any information that was like reputable and trustworthy. So generally I don't advise vaping coffee. Tea, yes. We vape tea with Dynavap in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right. We were just taking mint tea bags and opening them up using the mint in that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and those were nice. They had a whole jar of tea leaves and hops and alternative things that you could vape in a Dynavap. And yeah, all those herbal teas, basically. You could go to like Teavana or any of those tea stores, buy organic herbal tea blends or even whatever. Fucking pack them in your vape. Vape that shit. Vape that shit.
That's awesome. To try that out sometime, man. All right, hold on.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. That's a quick eat. I don't need to put that up. That's a good one. That's great.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I dance around the top. I really want to, and I have some, but I really feel like that's probably my next calling, and I'm really not answering it. You know what I mean? Like there's shit for me to figure out. So figure that shit out.
Yeah, I think I want to take a big mushroom trip pretty soon. Like a big one, like 5 grams, dark room kind of shit.
Fuck yeah. Okay. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
I want to open those doors that I found. You know?
Yeah. Dude, you've got some real stuff to fuck with, actually.
Yeah.
I think we don't need to go down this topic right now unless you want to, but I think that you're best served exploring it sober because you have this unique, I'm gonna call it a gift, man. Like I think you ought to explore that shit, and you don't need to get into altered states to experience it, and that's highly unusual. So I would just start fucking around on my own if I were you. But nothing wrong with getting fucked up too. Go for it. Oh shit! You want to talk about some vapes now?
Yeah, hold up though. On that note, you know how I've talked before about how I can't visualize.
Yeah.
What if it's not a genetic thing? And what if it's not a condition thing? What if it's a switch? What if at some point I figured out how to turn that switch off and I turned it off subconsciously? And what if I could turn it back on? Because I know that I can see visuals in certain states. So the inability to visualize from a conscious state doesn't compute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I hear you correctly, it sounds like that's a search for something that you're not right now. Is that correct?
You know how like Tesla and these other companies charge you a subscription to use certain features like heated seats and self-driving?
Yeah.
Like, I see you're driving that car and you don't want to pay Tesla. You don't want to pay Elon. You know your car can do those things because the technology is built into the car. But somewhere there's a fucking switch. Should be able to override that switch without paying the piper. Like that's what I feel about my ability to visualize. When I take mushrooms, I see visual shit. When I'm dreaming, I see visual shit. When I close my eyes and try to see visual shit, I can't see visual shit.
I look at it more like instead of running around like there's something missing or something that you're not able to do that you ought to be able to do. What if before you even came into this lifetime, your higher self decided to turn that fucker off so that you could find other things that you can't find when you're relying on sight, when you're relying on that vision? You know what I mean? Like what if you're driving in that Tesla with that nice fucking heated seat and all you're thinking about is your ass and you're missing all the other stuff that's going on around you? You know what I mean? So maybe I don't think there's anything wrong with you at all.
So
I think
you're saying like the fourth dimension or fifth dimension or 11th dimension, whatever dimension that the real consciousness exists in, put in this instance when it loaded this iteration of Troy time version 69.420, it opted to like disable certain features. Okay.
Yeah. Like I think that our struggles are by design because I see them repeat until we figure it out. Like, we just keep doing the same dumb shit stuff and hurting ourselves and repeating bullshit until we figure out, oh, I'm the problem here. And I've got a shadow program that's making this happen. And I can figure a way around this. And, until we do that, we never really address the real reason we're here.
Have you ever heard that saying? I think it was like an Albert Einstein quote about it takes like an insane person to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. When I first read that, like when I first saw that, and every time I see it and hear it, it stings me a little bit. Because I'm always like, damn, like I feel like sometimes I make the same mistake 3 times before I'm like, oh, okay, like, or maybe even more than 3 times. Like I'm 40 now, and just recently I started like reflecting on the way I am with like my friendships, and I like looking back, I'm like I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't want to do it that way anymore. Like I feel that's a mistake. Like I've been making this mistake since I was 20. Like that's the way that Einstein quote hit me. Like, damn, do I got some learning disability here?
No, I got a quote too that I don't remember the quote, but I remember the point that helped me out. Was just I was reading something once. I won't get into what it is right now. It was some weird fucking shit, but it was pretty cool. And I like to read weird fucking shit as if it's true, to try it on and see if it's real.
Dude,
and then if it's not, I cast it away.
I do that with fiction.
Right. All right then. So, fuck. This guy. What were you just saying? Because I lost my topic.
So you're gonna give me a quote, something about not being insane because of my inability to learn.
So it's about life expectancy, and if you go back and you read the Old Testament, you'll see that the genealogy, and I think it's Genesis, maybe it's Leviticus, those old fuckers. Motherfuckers were living 700, 800, 900 years back then, according to this book. And
what?
Yeah, if you go back and you read the Pentateuch, I think it's probably Leviticus. It could be Genesis, where they talk about he begat him, who begat him, who begat him, and all that shit that bores you to tears. In there, they talk about guys like Methuselah, who lived to be like 900 and something years old. Anyhow, the point is, this other source that had nothing to do with that. It's basically saying we used to live a long fucking time, and now we don't because of the energy changes and shit like that. And quite frankly, 40 to 60 years ain't shit in terms of what we need for time to figure things out to actually affect real change. So if we can live longer, great. And back when we were living 800-900 years, we were really seeing some real growth.
Dude.
So, yeah.
That's a whole new vibe. That changes everything. Yeah, because like if you think about it being, if you were immortal, like would you want to be immortal, Jerry?
I think so. I think if you gave me the choice and I had to either take it or not, I'd probably take it.
Have you watched any of those vampire movies where there's like a twist because one of the characters or multiple characters are immortal and they're depressed and they're fucking tired. They're tired of living. They're like, they've lived through everything. They've lived to watch everything that they love die and everything change over and over and over, and just witnessing humanity fuck itself over and over and over.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want that. But to go like maybe 800 years. Hey, that's a little bit more, like maybe I'll suffer for the last 400, but at least it's not infinity.
Well, nowadays, 800 years is some serious fucking change. Like, I mean, the amount of change we've seen in the last 50 to 100 years is insane. So I can't imagine all that shit now, but I'd probably take it on, man. I'd probably go, yeah, let's do it. I think about that already, like about loss. Like I have grandparents that lived past 100, and my grandma in particular saw things I don't ever want to see, and I'm not just talking about wars and shit like that, but like she saw her sons die, she saw her husband die, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to ever see my kids die. But if I'm going to live as long as I want, there's a high chance that could happen. And I need to, when I see those kind of things coming, I start to prepare my heart, just like, okay, I just need to be like, that can't be devastating. I have to come up with a reason that's not devastating. Good point, Monster. Health changes all that, doesn't it? Damn, health is everything. Bro, let's talk about vapes. You want to talk about some vapes?
Yeah. Let me get out a nug since my grinders are empty right now.
Right? I think we should grind some shit.
Can I show you a nugget first?
Yes.
I've been saving this one. I'm not going to break it open tonight.
Saving a nug. This is exciting.
Dude, yeah, this one is a monster. Let me give a little
Holy
zoom
shit,
on
that
this.
is big. What is
This
that?
thing. This is Larry. His name is Larry. Here's its stem.
Beautiful.
Get close.
It's like a 3-gram nug or something.
I don't know. But
It looks dense.
it's got some crazy fucking shape. Like this is the top down view, so you can see that like it had some kind of foxtailing action. Great shape on it, man.
Where'd it come
wish
from?
It came from one of those like parking lot secret sessions. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's up, Troy?
Yeah, it came from one of those. Got to be on the secret list to get in sessions.
Right.
$120 ounce type of shit. But it's good. It's fire. It's fucking good. It's not as good as Snowtail, but it looks better than Snowtail. It's not. It's not better than Snowtail.
Right.
But it looks better. That's how weed works. That's how weed works. It doesn't have to look all that fucking good to be amazing. That's one thing that the Snowtail stuff reminds me of. It's frosty as hell, but it doesn't always have like the jar appeal, bag appeal.
You can find better looking, but see about better working.
Right.
Hey, man. All right, let's grind. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Let's find it up.
Hello, this is Betty White. You need some time to grind.
All right, are we gonna hit this thing here? Is that what we're gonna do?
You gotta give me a moment. Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some
What strain you got?
pink strawberry gelato.
Now I gotta grind some.
I just pulled out a nug, dude.
Now I gotta grind some.
Now I gotta grind some shit.
Let me grind one out.
Out.
Yeah.
Man, let me grind one out.
I
Love
missed that. I
I know,
missed.
me too.
I missed Betty. I thought you were gonna play the new one.
I didn't know it was in there.
Oh, it
I
might
don't
not.
think it is. I didn't upload it. Did you?
No, I forgot.
We need to have that for next week. We'll have a new song for you next week, guys. We're pretty stoked about it. So
Well, if we can vape all of this, I can upload it now, and we can show it later if we grind again.
yeah, I mean you can upload while we're working, right?
Oh, I just loaded my pinch hitter bowl. We're not
Love
talking
this.
about the pinch hitter, but let me vape this, get this one out of the way. All right,
Yeah.
just so
Let's
it's
vape.
not sitting here going stale. I don't want it to go stale, right?
Thanks, Jason. Me too, man. I love. That's a cool song to fuck with. Oops.
That tasted like Pop Rocks, man. Tastes like candy. Those candy terps. What y'all think about those candy terps?
Are they sweet candy
Sweet candy.
or just fruity?
Actually, this one's not very fruity. This one just has the aura, the essence of candy, sugar, white sugar. You know,
Yes.
like the nerd style. Like imagine
Mhm.
I put a whole bunch of nerds in my mouth, Jerry, and I stuck on them until all the color flavor coating is gone. And then I
Yeah.
spit them out, put them in a paper towel and dry them off, and then give them back to you. Like, hey, here's a bunch of white nerds. And then you eat them and you just taste that candy inside. That's what this tastes like.
Sounds good.
Sucked off nerds.
Suck off, nerd. Oh my god, that needs to be a t-shirt.
Shit.
I want my terps to taste like sucked off nerds. Is that gonna be your next strain name? Sucked off nerds?
Oh man,
Oh, that's great. I fucking love that. That's awesome.
that's what it tastes like. There's just an essence of like what used to be fruity flavoring, you know? It just tastes like the leftover white candy. Sucked Off Nerds
That's
would be a
great.
fucking great band name.
Great band name, Sucked Off Nerds.
I didn't know we could star. What's the star do?
I don't know.
I don't know,
Did
but
you
I
do
started
that?
by accident and
What did
fuck, I'm
you?
leaving it.
Oh yeah, you can just click the star. Okay, I just clicked it again just to see. So
Well, then you probably unstarred it.
I probably did, but oh well, there it is, right there, right? Is that what you wanted, or you just wanted it? Fuck it, I don't care. That's all right. We're learning things here, so. All right, which vape do you want to use first, man?
Wait, let's do the intro because we need to intro the topic because this is going to be a repack.
Point, knock yourself out.
All right, so in our previous best of episode, Jerry and I went over all of the vapes and accessories products to smoke weed with. All of our best portable vapes, desktop vapes, dab vapes, all of our tools, all of our knickknacks and paddywhacks and all of that good shit. But we didn't really go deep. We didn't really go deep in the portable vapes. We kind of named off our top couple and then rattled off some supporting champions. But tonight, I want to pull out the top 6 portable vapes right now and explain, go over, demonstrate how they win in each of their respectable little categories and why we reach for them when we reach for them. Jerry?
Fucking love that, bro. Yeah. This is in my mind, these are the 6 probably finest or most used portables on my shelf. Whether I think they're the best or I just use them the most, one way or another, they're the ones that stand out amongst all my portables. So Troy's lining them up here for you. So we'll tell you the lineup here and then we'll start beating them up. But the first one you rolled out was that Solo 3, which is brand new from Riser. We got the Stores and Bickle Venty, brand new Bickle. He's got a TinyMight 2 here that's also brand fairly new if you want Purple Heart. The Lobo that's been out about a year now. The Taffy Bowl Series 2, Stellar Vape, and the Series 2 is a fresh release. And then we got one more vape.
Oh, it was tiny. It was hiding.
And that's the Hyperdyne. The Dynavap Hyperdyne is probably, yeah, that's easily the flame vape that I grabbed first. So I thought it was great that Troy and I both not only did we want to do this topic, but we picked the same vapes, and that really says a ton to me. So I like
we didn't fight on any vapes. And there was no vape that you added to the list. There was no vape that I added to the list. It was like I think I typed out like, hey, here's the 6 that I would choose, and you were like, perfect, me too.
Yeah. And we left off shit like we're not going to be dicks tonight. So yeah, the Bake Axe is not in here because it's a stellar vape, but it's hard to get. The P90 or P80. I always fuck that up now. Anyhow, there are some vapes like that aren't in here because we want to recommend vapes you can get most of the time. But some of you will have some vapes that you think belong in this, and that's fine, man. That's the beauty of discussion. So
Yeah.
Troy and I are going to discuss, and we hope that you let you know what you think about it too. So
We can talk about this right here too. This the Tempest and the Stunner, definitely like a potential 7th category. But those are kind of use cases that I just don't find myself in. Like the portable ball vape, torch powered ball vape. It's too much for the mouth. It's a ball vape. Too much for hitting with the mouth. So I want to put it on my bong. But if I'm hitting my bong, I got the real shit. I got the big boys. So I don't need a mini torch powered ball vape.
right.
So that's how that sits for me. The Dynavap is still a torch experience that I could take anywhere in the house, inhale directly with my mouth, and get high as fuck. It does make me cough, But man, when I hit the Tempest or the Stunner, like with my mouth, like just here at my desk, it annihilates me. Like I am coughing to the point where like my wife is like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yep." Like just fucking ripping vapes, you know. Like I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. Like I'm okay with coughing, but I don't want to cough so much that I'm like potentially shitting my pants or something. You know, like I don't want to have a coughing fit. I don't want my neighbors to hear me coughing all the time.
True that. True that. You wanna just go ahead and talk about that one? Beat that one up first, then.
Yeah, how much is the Hyperdyne? Like I meant to put prices on this card. That's
over
what those little
$200.
$ underscore things.
Yeah.
Where it was meant to be filled out.
If you guys, if you go to the Troy and Jerry website, we got troyandjerry.com. We got a blog post here, and I've got links to all this stuff for you that you can grab it, as well as a quick talk about the Dynavap here. If I click the link to that, this particular one is $229. It takes me to Planet of the Vapes, and it's $229.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an expensive one. But I'll tell you real quick, the reason why this is the flame vape that I pick is I was really impressed with what they did here. The titanium is lighter weight than I think it would be. And the bowl is huge. Like I've wanted this big bowl for a long ass time in my Vap Cap. And now we finally got it. So it's bigger than most of its competitors. It's certainly bigger than the Anvil Bowl. Might be bigger than the Donnie. I think it's bigger than the Tempest. I'm not sure. But it also doesn't require as much to heat up. I can heat it very effectively with a single torch, and it doesn't take forever. It does not take a minute or 45 seconds to heat up like some of those others. And it cools down really quickly. It's all titanium, and I don't have this hot hunk of metal for like 3 minutes after I'm done. So for that reason, this really has been what I like to grab. It heats up quick enough, beats the fuck out of me, and then cools down quickly enough for me to go. And I like the dosing capsule. The dosing capsule worked really well when I've used it. So I'm pretty stoked about this one. And I know that I sort of feel like a little bit of a broken record because I've liked every Dynavap they've put out in the last couple of years. Like I was a fan of the B. I thought that was a real good one. I liked the M7. I liked the Woodwind. And every time they came out with it, I felt like, okay, this is now my fave. And I feel the same way about this one, only for completely different reasons. You know, the Woodwind finally didn't get hot, but this one has a big ass bowl and it does all that other shit I said. I finally feel like I have the big boy Vap Cap, Troy, is the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I almost think it's a little bit unfortunate that it's coming out now at a time where I'm keeping my tolerance so fruitfully low. Like my tolerance is low. I've been hitting these tiny bowls. So tonight, vaping on all of these is a lot. It's gonna be a lot. I'm already fucking stoned as tits because I've had like 4 bowls in the pre-show workout. So
Are you using the dosing capsule for this?
No, I'm not. I haven't actually tried it. I think I misplaced it.
It's pretty cool. I'm not using it right now. I'm gonna really enjoy the big ass bowl, but every time I've used it, I really liked it. It definitely tames the session a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. We tried it in the show, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we tried it in the show, and I didn't like the way that it tamed the session. I'm generally not a capsule guy because of the way that it tames the session, at least the ramp up of the production. So yeah, generally I don't like fussing with them either.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having several. Like I would like to be able to pack like a thing of 4 and run around with this. So look at you using the something mini. What is that thing called again?
The Ignite Mini.
Yeah.
What's the other torch? The one that I've had for like so long, that Serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
The one that exploded when we were.
That's right. When we were session
that day. Yeah. Yeah, everybody, my lighter, I couldn't get it to light after I refilled it. And I thought it was because I had hacked the system, where you like pull off the little adjustment cap to turn your gas up or down past its little 2-point limit.
Right.
I had done that a couple times needfully to make it work. And I thought since refilling it, I'd have to turn it back. And I was doing that, loosening it and lighting it. And it was like really putting out a lot of gas. And I'm like, fuck, what's going on? I'm like trying to loosen it, trying to do it. And I guess I turned it too far and it unscrewed the whole thing. And it just like blew all of its gas on my middle knuckle. And I got like this fucking freeze burn.
Yikes.
It was sore for like a week. It's still actually a little tender. But yeah, it was the next couple of days were hell. Like I couldn't wash dishes. I couldn't use my right hand in the shower because warm, not even hot water, warm water hurt like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, you fucking did it. Yeah.
Dude, it was bizarre.
I didn't hear the aftermath. I didn't realize all that. I was there when it happened, but I didn't realize it was that bad afterwards too. So damn,
Yeah,
man.
it was shitty. It was shitty.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
So now you're using that Ignite Mini, man. I love it. That's fucking
And I'm
great.
kind of scared. Like I don't want to combust. No combustion tonight. I didn't clean my dab rig. So
Just listen for the click, man. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, but that thing you are pushing it with that torch. So we'll see. Warcane's asking if the Hyperdyne fits in most induction heaters. No, it doesn't fit in any of them except the wand, actually. So,
maybe the forge.
yeah, maybe some of these newer ones, but like all of mine, it didn't fit in any of them except the, like I said, the iSpire. So, and maybe that's why I like it so much is because I'm back to torches now. I'm torching my Dynavaps all the time, and I haven't used much induction heater. I will say this: I am open to the Tempest changing my mind. I don't have a production Tempest, and I fucked up my beta Tempest the moment I got it, so I don't feel like I've had a full Tempest experience, if that makes sense. So, let's hit this fucker, man. You ready to over torch yours?
Well, I'm gonna be fucking high as balls after I use this because this vape really punches me. I want to talk about when and why I use this vape.
Okay.
This vape calls to me when I want to get away from my computer and I want to go to the couch or go outside, go to the garage, go sit somewhere, or even just turn around. Sometimes I like literally just turn my chair around and face the other way. And I'm doing something different, doing something intentionally to take a break. Like if I want to take a break from working, because when I work, I can hit the ball vape and be exhaling while typing my shit or editing my video. It's a simultaneous thing. The Dynavap takes me away. The Dynavap sesh gives me 3 minutes of like, I'm a focused vaporist. I'm taking my torch. I'm honing the heat in on a specific zone. It's a focused activity that takes my mind off of whatever I'm doing. This is a break for me. That's why I've always liked the little Dynavap ritual. I can do it while having a conversation. It's not so intense that you can't walk or talk or do anything like that. But there's enough of a focus in there for it to be therapeutic. It's a ritualistic little vape, and that's why I keep it in my routine.
Nice. Yeah, I'll grab it for when I go on those car rides where I'm riding shotgun, and I want something that's got some oomph, and like you said, is going to draw me in, kind of give me a little bit of mindfulness. I also like that you don't have to spend this. I do out of habit, but there's not a whole lot you have to do with this one. It's pretty forgiving.
God damn, it's delicious.
Ooh. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Oh, that tastes good. And I'll keep hitting it on one full. Like I'll get 3 or 4 hits usually out of one heat cycle.
Yeah. I usually just heat it up once. And I stopped tight packing. Like this Dynavap has changed the way that that Dynavap, you know?
Nice. Tell me about that.
Well, I used to like really tight pack my Dynavap tips. Like I would I would go into the grinder and I'd have a bunch of weed hanging out. And I would still be trying to cram more in there. It'd be really tight. And then I would, instead of brushing it off, I would poke it in with my finger, you know, to like indent it or at least make it flat. And then twist off any shit that would be combustible along the edge. So yeah, I was constantly overpacking. And then I would like heat from the base and heat upwards just to like give a really delayed click.
Right.
You know, I want to pack as much heat into that bowl as I could before the click. Yeah, I would get like a really good roast. Dark. I gotta take it dark. But nowadays with this one, it's huge. I find that it doesn't. It still works with a tight pack, but if I packed it as tight as I used to, I think it would just be too much. You know, I'd have to heat it twice, which is what I was doing with the previous Dynavap. But with the previous Dynavap, I was always going beyond the click. You know, like I would hit it, and it would be in the click zone, but I would know that the tip needs more heat. Like I would sense, like, oh, it's cooling down. I can feel it. Let me add another. You know, it's like dip and sip. It's just like feeling it. Like I can sense. I don't do that with this. The amount of material in this cap creates such a buffer between time that you remove the heat to the time where you can taste the difference. It's too big. It's too big. It's super easy to add too much reheat on this and then combust. So I don't do beyond the click heating at all with the Hybridyne, and that's completely different for me. Like I've long been a click disrespecter, if you can say it that way. You know, I've always been a beyond the click kind of a user. Not anymore.
Yeah, well, you were overpacking and overheating because you were trying to get it to do something that it didn't do as well without it. Like you're looking for a certain hit that's what it required. And now that the bowl's bigger and you get a little more airflow, you don't have to do all that unicycle shit to get the hit you get. That's how I interpret what you just said. So
yeah.
Yeah, right on, man. I dig that.
I think that one was a little underpacked. I think I could have packed a little bit more in there. I packed it a little bit too loose, which made the vapor a little more tickly.
Yeah.
And there's a sweet spot that I find, and that was actually another reason why I was always overpacking the Dynavap tip, because you make the vapor super milky. It almost satisfies the tickle in itself.
Right.
You know, like it gives that vapor enough substance or enough spine to like, oh yeah, that hits like that. I don't have to cough after that. I'm going to because it feels good, but I don't have to, you know?
Right. Yeah, the tickle, man. People like that tickle. I hear you on that. That was good. Yeah, I really enjoy this big ass Vap cap. Like, I don't have to sit down and do 2 or 3 bowls anymore. I can do 1, maybe 2, but usually 1 is pretty impactful. So, how's that room temp chocolate milk treating you, bro?
It's cold. It's still cold.
Okay, all right, good. Going to that warm shit. So yeah, that's my favorite torch vape right now. I look forward to a production Tempest. We'll see what that's like, if that gives it a run for its money. Maybe some other things coming around, but love that thing. So
yeah, And that's not to say that I don't love the Tempest or the Stunner or the Anvil. Those are all great vapes. It's just from this category. That would be the one that I would keep here on my desk.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Just like ball vapes. I mean, look, guys. I mean, a lot of these vapes are all in the same field. Just get the one that appeals to you. Maybe you'll like the look of the Anvil, or the Tempest, or the Moab, or something different. Maybe you like the Scepter better than the Ace. Doesn't really matter, man. Like we're talking nuances at this point. So, yeah, I'm with you, Troy. Those are all good vapes. I just prefer this one right now. So, right on, man. Let's grab another one. Which electric do you want to grab? We got 5 electrics to play with now, man.
Let's talk about the Lobo, because the Lobo is probably the least used of mine, but also probably the most recommended, because when I'm talking to people buying their first vape, or when they come at me with, I've tried all these other vapes, I've had 5 vapes and they all fucking suck. Which one's good? Because people, like, when they find out that I'm a dryer vape guy, they want to fight me, with their bad experience. And because I tried the G Pen and I tried that, and I was like, yeah, you tried a bunch of shit.
Right.
Like if you're willing to spend, what is this now, $160? The
Yeah,
Lobo?
159. Yeah,
$159.
full price, not on sale.
Not quite budget, but budget-ish. Like something. It's a decent budget-ish buy. Like, it's the cost of an ounce of weed. Like, can you invest in the cost of an ounce of weed to improve the way you consume?
Right.
Risk reduction, harm reduction, in addition to taking on more THC and more terps. This vape doesn't disappoint. Like, this is one of those easy to recommend vapes that doesn't disappoint, and it's pocketable, small, and super easy to use. Dude, the fucking green is so sexy. Oh my god.
I've got the blue here with me now. It's
Dude, the
pretty
blue
sweet
one's hot too. How can,
I
is
like
your
it,
mouthpiece?
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Is your
My
mouthpiece
lighting
blue
sucks
as well?
here. Yeah, the lighting sucks. The mouthpieces on these are a little different. Like, they're close, but it's a different material, so you'll never get a perfect match between the mouthpiece and the body. So we got them as close as we could.
Oh, I'm talking about the glass. Is it blue glass?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is a black piece of glass here that I got.
Oh,
But,
okay.
But I'm going to use it with the Gordito. Like, this is what I love about these things, guys, is you just take this glass out and pop in something else, like this little mini Gordito bubbler, or you could pop it out and throw it on a water pipe, and you can do it mid-session. You could start one way and go, fuck it, I want to switch and go the other way. You can just do that mid-session. So, yeah, Troy, I like the price. That's a good point about the budget-ish. It kind of lands in that spot where there is nothing. It's like there's from 190 and up, you can find vapes, but from 190 down to about 130, there's nothing. And that's starting to fill in a little bit now, but this one kind of slides in there. Costs more than a one, costs more than a V3 Pro or Starry or something like that, but less than a PAX, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna turn mine on too.
Heats up fast, has the full temperature control and display right there on top. You didn't see it, but it displayed like the Planet of the Vapes logo when I turned it on. And immediately starts the 4-minute sesh timer.
Yeah. And usually heats up in about 45 seconds, depending on the temp. Got USB-C, replaceable battery, and a shit ton of glass you can use with it. Lots of colors. Dosing capsules work really well in this thing.
They
Planet of
do.
Vapes has dosing capsule caddies, dosing capsule inserts for the tight vacs. I mean, matching grinders now. They just added matching grinders and tight vacs and tight vac inserts. So you can literally get like...
Wait, tight vac inserts? Like the ones that, are they like Delta 3D Studios?
Yeah, they're like that. They have, there's the blue capsule, there's blue and green tight vacs, and then there's blue and green inserts that go in, like you said, just like the Delta 3D thing to hold your dosing capsules. And then just got in matching blue grinders and green grinders. So we got color. I mean, you literally can deck out the whole fucking thing, including like you could go with a blue water pipe adapter and a blue grinder and a blue tight vac. And somewhere around here, I got a blue dosing capsule caddy. I mean, it all just, I'm stoked, man. Like nobody's really done this in the vape scene yet, is make something that's that fully pimped out.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that Planet of the Vapes was doing colored grinders as well. I love that the different colors of the Lobos, the green and the blue. People want that, man. Like I remember trying to go to my shelves and like pick vapes. It's like an army of all the black vapes. Like find the Boundless CFX. It's like shit, okay. You know, you gotta like pick up every single one. It's like find that Blue Da Vinci IQ. Oh shit, okay. Whoop, ding. You can find it. They stand out. I love the way.
Yeah, I do like that. You're right, man. I always have a sea of black vapes over here that drives me nuts. I don't need all that shit. I'll show you real quick what I like here is this is what I was going to show you with this thing is I just use a capsule caddy with my Lobo. And so the scoop, you can get this tray and this scoop over there at Planet Vape. So we'll put a magnet on the end of the scoop so that you can come in and get your dosing caps. It'll lift out of the Lobo and then drop right on there and stay there because these magnets are stronger. You can leave that on there. Just let it cool for 30 seconds, then you can go at it. So just something easier than just dumping this out on something. You know what I mean? So something you can fuck with.
Dude, and your brush is stuck on the other magnet. That's why you got 3 magnets. Dude, that thing is fucking righteous.
It's a portable vape station, bro. Like that just goes. I take this. That's my portable vape station all around the house. I can just run around the house with that shit now. So, I like that. Or change the vape. This thing will work with any vape. If you don't have a Lobo, whatever vape you got, it'll work with. So, but yeah, I kind of dig that.
That's pretty cool. How much is that?
Let's take a peek, man, because it just went up, and I'm curious too. So let's see here. We go to we're going to we got shit here. Maybe we got new arrival, accessory new arrivals. The scoop is $20, and the debowler is $22. There you go. So 20 and 22.
Oh, you son of a mother.
It fell.
Wait, how much did you say it was? $22?
22 for the debowler and
That's pretty
20
cheap.
for the 20 for the scoop.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not a bad price. With all 3 magnets, yeah.
The scoop price puts it in the low to mid range for scoops. I think the cheapest you can probably get a scoop of this quality is $15-20. You can get them up to 40 or craziness. I mean, some scoops are crazy pricey, but this one's not. So it's kind of, but yeah, there you go. Let's just set up there.
Dude, that's a great little combo because then when you're vaping around the house, you have a place to dump your spent weed. Like that's the biggest obstacle. Like everybody wants a portable vape, and then 80% of the time they're vaping at home around the house. You know, that seems to be the most common version of how people vape that I get when I'm talking to people. You know, when they're shopping for a vape, they want a portable. Where do you vape? I'm going to be vaping in my bedroom. Like, why do you want a portable? But it makes sense. I realize that not everybody can forfeit desktop space for a weed device. You know, not everybody is so committed to vaping weed so efficiently during the day, all day, every day, that they need a ball vape on their desk. Not everybody's like that. So a lot of people live a lifestyle where they got a box, they got a lunch box where they keep their weed and their weed shit, maybe a vaporizer when they want to get high, when their kids go to bed and whatever, they pull out their little lunchbox or their little secret stash and they pull up their vape and their weed and their grinder. They grind some weed and they pack their vape and maybe they go somewhere and do it, but it might just be in their desk or in their bedroom. This is a perfect little stash vape to live there, especially with these little bubblers. And I don't mean to put the bubblers down, but I find that they work just as good dry as they do wet. Like they function dry. Like if you put them on there dry, they actually help quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's no shit.
So if you're in a pinch and you don't need to, or you don't always have to fill them with water to make them work. Like they still work pretty good.
That's true. That's real true. I've used them dry plenty of times, so they work well that way. I like that.
How would you compare it to the Crafty too? I would say it's not as smooth as the Crafty, but it's also a little punchier than the Crafty. Like if I pack the Lobo and the Lobo goes hotter for one as well. So there's a temp advantage. I would say the Lobo can slap harder than the Crafty, but the Crafty has nicer vapor.
Yeah, you'll take a little longer in the session with the Crafty. It's classic Stores and Bickle. All those vapes seem to hit the same to me. Really tasty, fluffy, potent vapor that you're going to get 4 to 7 hits a bowl, usually depending on how long your hits are. And they're fantastic. The Lobo is going to extract a little quicker. That's why it's a little punchier, but also why it doesn't have the taste profile that you might get out of a Crafty. So, yeah, I find that I'll hit the Crafty maybe 2 more hits to get to the same place. So if you took those hits and distributed them over the first 3 or 4, then you end up with Lobo type stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right on, man. But this is by far the cheapest vape we will show you tonight. Like all these other vapes we're about to show you from here on out are $350 to $450. And even the Dynavap is more than a Lobo. So just want to point that out that the budget part of the show is now over.
Yeah. And to be honest, like the Lobo was included for budget purposes because I coming from experience. Like when I went to that Growers Gauntlet party, I traveled with the ball vape, but I had my Venty in my pocket, and I vaped several people out with the Venty. And when they're like, "How much is this? This is great. How much is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like $400." I'm like, $400? Like they were like, "Yeah." They're like, "Take it back. Like,
Oh, I don't want to break it.
yeah, like nobody wants to spend $400 to vape weed.
Yeah,
Like
that's a lot of money.
people are spending dollars on papers to roll their blunts and their cones and their shit like that. Changing their lifestyle to that. And then sometimes I feel embarrassed and shitty. Like people are like, what's your favorite vape? And yeah, and then they hear the price and they're like, oh yeah, of course. And they're like, what's your second best? And oh, it's this one. This one's also $400. How about this one? $400. It's like, do you have to spend $400 to get a good vape? No, you don't. But if you're vaping all day, every day, you probably should.
Right.
You probably should spend a little more and invest a little more. Put a little more into it, or at least spread those investments out into other vapes as well,
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. And you're right. I mean, it's funny that the amount of money these things can cost us. So even the Vap cap is well over 200. So
What's the next cheapest one on the list? Is it the
the next
Solo
one's
3?
gonna, yeah, I think we're gonna be Solo 3 on this one. I think it lists around 330-ish, 340, 320, somewhere in there. If you click the link on our site and use code Troy and Jerry 20 right now, you get 20% off. So it's a pretty good deal.
And a
That takes-
riser.
Yeah, and that's like $60 off or something, 69, 60, some great number that you would approve of.
You know, and that discount, that price is for Canadians as well. So
right on.
if you're Canadian, it's actually a really good deal, because normally the Canadians will get screwed on some of those conversions, you know. But a riser is a Canadian company, so they're taking care of their fam.
Oh, they love the Canadian. Damn, where's my? I had my glass stem out.
You didn't break it, did you?
No, I literally. Oh, I probably put it somewhere specific, but it should be right here, man. Like
This glass stem here, the bent stem, was always my favorite with the Solo 1 and the Solo 2.
right on.
Aside from the nipple stems were great, but I found that the bent stem, not only was it great for hitting, because you could just like keep your face vertical, you know, you don't have to like do any of these things, like it's just more natural. But the bend makes a noticeable difference in the vapor smoothness, and it becomes apparent as the stem becomes dirty, because that curve will collect a whole bunch of particles in like the after part of it. So you can see like, oh, okay, that's why it's smoother. It's actually helping to collect more particles, you know, like not as much as a bunch of nipples, but it's there. It's there.
Bunch of nipples. That's great. What do you think about that?
What was
So we're on the Solo 3 now. Solo
what was the brand
3.
name we had before?
We had Sucked Off Nerds.
Sucked Off Nerds. That's right.
Sucked Off Nerves and a bunch of nipples. It's fucking great. Shit. Yeah, so the Solo 3, man. I was kind of surprised by this. They just released the Solo 2 Max, and then they had this like literally within 2 months afterwards. For me, they gave us the biggest bowl they've ever had, and an aggressive heating system, and I'm really excited about it. And Troy and I use them differently, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like to use mine in on-demand mode, and I don't like the XL bowl. I like the normal bowl. And it's not that I don't like vaping more weed. I like the performance of the normal bowl, because with the new performance upgrades of the Solo 3, it vapes considerably faster than the previous Arizer Solos. So if you had the Solo 1, Solo 2, or the Air, and you're like, damn, I don't like that it takes 10 minutes to vape a bowl, the Solo 3 can vape faster. However, when you switch it to that XL bowl, you can't. Like the XL bowl loses performance and takes longer to fully extract.
Yeah, and I only use the XL bowls, and I mostly use it in session mode. I will slap that fucker in there. I set it at 360. I always used to set my older risers at 404. That was my preferred temp for a one and done temperature. And
Temp not found.
one, it's 360. That's right. On this one, it's 360 because it's getting way hotter than that. So you don't have to go way up there.
See, I like the Solo 3, especially in this on-demand mode, because kind of like the Dynavap, it has a little bit of a ritual thing to it, but it's automatic and it gets me high as balls. It's a really fast extraction.
I like the big bowl because I've always wanted I always did 2 or 3 bowls of this fucker, and now I just do one. And I call it fast and furious. The fucker just, I mean, you got to run with it, man, because it'll vape it whether you vape it or not.
gonna do a second heat up. Whoa, it was fast. Jeez.
Yeah, this is gonna start to fuck me up. That bowl's big.
Oh. It's gonna start to fuck you up, huh? It's gonna start.
Yeah.
Where have you been? My whole life, Jerry.
Right? You got some stories or something? You look like you're feeling like you're about to go into a thing.
Bro, I'm in like terp Tasia. I don't know, like a special terp land. The Solo has like a really cool blend of convection, conduction, radiant heat that roasts the surface. Roast the surface.
Roasted the
Come
fuck
on.
out of that. You roasted the fuck out of that, that's for sure, man. That's what mine's gonna look like.
But it still has some green depth to it. But there's really not much left. If I stir it, I can get another hit out of it. So I'm gonna do that for science. Also because it tastes really good.
Not me, man.
Huh?
I'm gonna leave it at what it does without stirring. But I got a little bogey on the bottom of this fucking bowl. And if you ever heard me talk about these things before, I like to pack them so you get nothing on the bowl or that fucks with taste really quickly. So anyhow, no boogies on the bottom, baby. No boogies on the bottom. Let's see how this one turned out here. Look at that. That's nice, man. That's nice and really dark brown, not even super dark. I mean, it's actually, I give it a that's brown. That's brown. Not really dark brown, but little bits right along the edge there got black, but
Yeah.
that's a good even roast, man, and a full one too. And quickly, Troy, that didn't take any time at all, man. Like I said, once it gets going, you just got to run with that fucker. It's a sprint.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely capable. Was that XL as well?
Yeah, it's my big bowl.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Maybe mine's a little soft. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know.
Well, what temp did you use on your on demand?
That was temp 4.
It's pretty high, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm at 360 on this thing, and I leave it there the whole session. I had to dial it down really low and put it on session mode to keep it to where it wouldn't just get crazy fucking dark black in there. And I really like those results. I mean, I just sit there and I just keep puffing it till I don't like the taste anymore, and then I'm done with the fucker. So, big ass vape. This is without a mouthpiece. I mean, you still got to pop that in it, and now it's a big ass vape. It's my biggest vape we have once the mouthpiece is in. Pretty impressed. All the main companies this year are saying, fuck you, people who want small vapes. We're doubling down on bigger shit because it just takes that to do what we're trying to do. And I respect Stores and Bickle for that. You know, they're just like when Troy and I were over there and we're like, wait, it's bigger? I'm like, yeah, man, just that's what it takes to get it done. They were like unapologetic. You know, it's like that's what it takes to do what we're trying to do. So if you want it, there you go. And you know, Ariser's showing the same kind of innovation in the big space. But these other two are a little smaller. So
Yeah, there's some size differences along the way. Some size differences up in the hay.
what do you want to do next, man?
I think the TinyMight 2 is next in the price array. Right?
It is. And then if you get the Purple Heart, it's the same price as the Mighty and the Bowl. So the Purple Heart
What's the
version,
Mighty?
I'm in the Venti and the Bowl. Sorry. So yeah, the Venti and the Bowl are in the 450 price range or price point. The TinyMight is like 375 or no, the TinyMight is I think 350 and then 4.25. 4.25 for the Purple Heart and 350 for the regular. So yeah, this would be the next one up the price ladder, my man. My man. We can beat that up. I love that vape. This has been the one I've reached for the most lately on my just personal use. If I want an electric portable.
Your Purple Heart?
Yeah, my other one is out, but this one has been great. I love the stem. It's pretty fucking dope. So they say they've got better internals, but I don't know. We'll see.
Huh. I'm gonna take my case off of my TinyMight too, so you can see it naked. So you can see me naked.
Nice.
There's my preferred temperature.
You're at a little over 7. That's funny. I'm usually around 6 or so. Yeah, it's a little over 6. Right on. Nice.
You think
hand size.
you think that I like it hotter, but if I go any hotter, I run into combustion territory on this one. So I got to
That
be
makes
careful.
sense. I can see that.
Look,
There's
and
Purple Heart.
my bowl is empty. That's beautiful.
This stem is dope. I like this glass stem, and the dosing capsule is pretty good. They got this Purple Heart comes with this stem as well and a titanium dosing capsule to play with. So I've been real happy with this stem.
Nice ball stem. Yeah, it looks oddly penis shaped on the mouthpiece there. Can you hold it up close?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of got that feel to it, doesn't it? Very nice, Troy.
I was gonna ask if it was a water pipe adapter. Does it fit 14 mil or something?
It can be held onto it. It's not gonna mate,
Okay,
but it can be held against it.
so it's like a little micro head, little 5th grade boner.
Little 5th grade boner.
Cut that out.
That's fucking funny, man. 5th grade boner. Oh shit! All right, let's pack these fuckers, man. Let's get this going. So, got my.
How do you pack yours? You pack yours tight, pack it loose?
Man, I pack it just like I do all my all these stem vapes. I will pack it about like that, and then just kind of press it in. I don't like to compact it, but I like to make sure that it's past the lip, so there's a little bit of a gap there. Just like my solo, I pack this one just like my solo.
Okay, yep, same. Pack it just like the solo. I like the titanium stem because it's pocket friendly, and usually when I use the TinyMight too, it's because I'm going somewhere and I need a vape in my pocket that I could pull out and get me high. Not necessarily pull out and sesh on, but like let's say I'm with my parents or with somebody that I'm not going to vape with, pull out the TinyMight so I can vape when they're not looking or nonchalantly. If I'm pulling out something that I'm going to vape with somebody, I'll pull out the Venty. But the TinyMight too would be me carrying a vape to have a functional high without other people. Although you can share it. It's very shareable.
I agree. I like the titanium too. I wish it were a little shorter. It's a little too long. But when I throw it in my pocket, I use the stem you've got right there. So I'm with you on that. I go. Are you on demand? I go session every time.
I alternate with this one. Right now I'm in on demand because my microphone, this microphone that I use is sensitive. It picks up electronic sounds that my naked ear does not. And with this vape, it really picks up the sound of the heater, and it picks up clicking sound with the Venty and the Mighty and a bunch of other vapes as well. So With this one, I'm choosing on demand so I can limit the amount of noise that you have to deal with.
Right on.
All right.
I wanted on-demand vapes my whole life, on-demand convection, and now that I got them, I just use them in a session. So that's fucking hilarious. I got so trained into sessions over the last 15 years that I can't do on-demand. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, the first hit with the TinyMight 2 is terpy as fuck. Like almost torturously terpy. Like you can taste it so much on your tongue that it's like it's like taking a one of those Gillette triple blade razors and just like and it's like shaving your tongue, and like it feels like you're shaving your tongue. There's so much terps that it almost hurts sometimes if your weed is really strong, or if the terps in your weed are like bitey, it can hurt. The TinyMight 2 can fucking hurt.
Yep. It'll highlight that for you. Very well described. Oh, fuck, I'm done with that. Let me show you this one too. Let's go into my close-up Rooney here. Let's see if I can scrape that shit out for us here. Oh yeah, there we go. That'll fit.
Ooh.
The TV scoop evacuates the. Yeah, that's nice and dark, man, all the way through. Do that. Troy's flying.
I was time traveling. I actually took a hit and went back into the past, and then I was looking forward into the future, but then I realized that there was like a time gap, so I had to time travel.
Hey, time travel. I'm starting to slow down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Do you know that the TinyMight 2 has a built-in stir tool?
Love it.
Yeah. It's cool shit. And it's convenient. It's right there. It's not like the Da Vinci where it's like you have to open the mouthpiece, take out the stir tool, close the mouthpiece, flip the vape over, open the bowl, stir your bowl, close the bowl, flip the vape over, open the mouthpiece, put the stir tool away, close the mouthpiece.
Yeah, when I was beta testing this vape before you had the stir tool on there, I was running around either with a rubber band and a toothpick.
I remember that.
Or sometimes there was a little gap I could stick it in, but I didn't like doing that. So I'm very much a fan of this. The funny thing is I don't use it that much. I just don't stir much anything anymore. But yeah, if you want to stir, it works out really well because you can take this fucker and you can, if this had herb in it, you can take this, put it in there, put your thumb over it, and then just kind of do this, and then pull that out, scrape your thumb off, and it'll be nice and packed and stirred, and it's zero mess or fuckery. So that's how I like to stir my TinyMight 2 when I stir it. I should probably stir the next load. Let's do it. You want to do another bowl in here, and I'll stir it this time. See what that's like. It's been so long since I stirred a bowl. What do you think? Do you like that or not? You want me to stir on my own time?
I'm not gonna do another bowl because you want to fucking stir your fucking bowl, bro. Jeez.
Fuck it. I'll come back to it later.
You can do another bowl if you want, like an additional bowl. I did an extra bowl, at least one extra bowl earlier on you. So it's all good. It's all good.
All right. Well, I finished the gelato. Am I going carbon fiber or pie cream?
Pie cream.
Okay, pie cream it is.
Fuck. TinyMight 2, punchy. She's a punchy one. I was gonna warn people when I share this one. Like, take a big long hit,
Right.
and you'll taste it, and you're like, oh yeah, this tastes good. And then by the time you feel it, if you're feeling the burn on your inhale, you've already gone too far.
It's too late.
It's too late, my man. I hope you don't cough out vapor. Like, that's your new challenge in life right here.
Right.
Like, try to get through the exhale without coughing.
That's funny.
That's what I'm doing, by the way. When you see me like I'm holding my hits, I'm not trying to hold my hits. I am not trying to hold my hits. I am just trying to not cough with a lung full of vapor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this pie cream smells so good.
Oh, I'm so envious, dude. I vaped all my pie cream. It's all gone.
All right, what are you packing? Are you packing or are you watching me do another TinyMight?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you do another TinyMight.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll do another TinyMight here. TinyMight pie cream with a stir. Gosh, this weed's phenomenal. Barely have to fuck with that at all. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what, Jerry?
Yeah, what's up? Turning mine up a little bit too. Troy timing it at a little over 7. 7.5.
A little over 7. That's where I'm at. I mean, I still get like 3, 4 pretty good hits, you know? Which is about where you want to be. Where I want to be. I don't like to one shot it so much with the TinyMight, because it doesn't cook all the way through for me when I one shot it. And I don't like to dump out green weed from my stem. And I definitely don't want to combust. And hitting it twice without stirring, not something I can do on the higher temperatures with the TinyMight 2. And as Jerry was just saying, he doesn't usually stir. I don't like to stir at all on the go. So when I'm on the go, I don't want to be stirring either. But you know what, Jerry? My grinder's empty, and it's time to grind some shit.
Oh, right on.
And this is an important moment right here. This is,
Oh, you got
here we
it.
go.
So,
you guys ready?
does it need any intro? This is different, guys. This is
I don't think it
different.
needs an intro.
Yeah, go for it.
But I mean, it's still got Betty White. She just has a little different accent. Let's go.
Good day, this is Betty White. Let's take some time to grind.
All right, we're gonna hit this thing here. Is that what we're gonna do?
Oh my.
Old mate.
You gotta give me a moment.
All right.
Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some shit. Now I gotta grind some
What strain you got?
pink strawberry gelato.
Now I gotta grind some.
All right.
I just pulled out a nug, dude.
Now I gotta grind some.
Old mate.
Oh, Mike. Now I gotta grind some shit.
Save $10, code Troy in Jerry.
That's right, baby. I love it, man.
Save $10. Code Troy and Jerry. Time to get your old mate grinder.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that, man. That's a lot of fun. I'm excited that we got a code that now we can tell people we finally have a code to help them save money on that vape, because we use it all the time on that grinder. And if we're going to use it all the time, guys, we want to be able to save you some money and get you a code for it. So use that sucker up. It's $10 off. Real hard to get a discount on this thing. There's not much there to play with. So straight from RCA. I love it down there.
That was terrible.
Hey, I didn't practice at all.
Yeah. You should do a Foster's commercial, Jerry.
Yeah, sell some beer for sure. Yeah, they love me.
Seriously, though, love love the old mate grinder. Happy to have him on board with the show. So
Yeah.
what vape is next? Now that I've ground some shit, ready to.
Oh, hang on. I gotta hit my TinyMight too.
Oh, I thought you did that. What have you been
I
doing?
know, but I
my whole
stirred
life?
and then we grind and then I didn't hit it.
Oh, geez. Oh, so you stirred it already though. Now I said it.
Yeah, there's a big hit in there still.
That was massive. That was massive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That did it.
Jerry's got that
Okay.
bowl up in his lungs. Yeah.
Yes. Whoa. A little bit of a lung right there around, man. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. We done with that? We done with that stuff? You had enough of that?
Can you do the auctioneer thing? Do you know how to like do the auction?
I do not. I've never done that in my life.
Dude,
Hey, I
man.
got 25. Can I get 25? I got 25. Can I get 30? I got 30. With 30 going once. 30. Oh, 35. I got 35. For 35 in the back. All right. What about up front? You got 40? You got 40? I haven't never done it, but I'd probably do okay with it.
Dude, you just fucking did it. I mean,
There you go.
my aunt and at her husband at the time were both like they went to the class and learned how to do it. I was fascinated by it as a kid. Storage, dude, I love that fucking show. I saw when I first moved here. It was one of the highlights of my year. I think was seeing Dave in his like Sprinter van. I saw the black Sprinter van on the freeway.
Oh wow!
That said "Yep" on the side, like you just this big "Yep."
It's fucking great.
And then it had like a storage, like the license plate was like Storage Wars or something. Like I forget what it was, but it had Storage Wars sticker on it. And yeah, it was that dude. I saw him on the fucking freeway.
Dude. Running by some, that's LA for you, right? So just running at TV people on the highway, man. All right, so we're gonna use a Venty now, man.
Oh, is the Venty? Oh, the Venty and the Taffy Bowl are the same price now? Is that what's going on?
I believe so. So like let's see here. If I go to our website and I go click on the Taffy Bowl. Oh, wait a minute. So we're saying the Venty is $4.49, but go to Planet of the Vapes and I believe you get 20% off. So it ends up being a fuck ton less, like 360, 70, some shit like that. The bowl is $4.49, no discount, but there you can use code Troy and Jerry and get a free stubby stem, which is like $50, and you're gonna want that. I've got it on mine right now, so that's a scoop. $4.49 for both. Only you can get a discount off of this one.
Okay. So so you can get 20% off the Venty now at Planet of the Vapes. That's fucking hot.
Yeah, it just happens. You go and put it in your cart and you go check it, and I think it already puts the code in there for you.
What the hell? I don't think I loaded this vape, but there's a green bowl in there, Jerry.
Ooh. I don't remember you loading it right now either. That's beautiful. What's it smell like?
It's hard to smell it over the leather. The leather has a smell.
Right. I don't think you loaded it. I think that's a freebie. And I wonder when you did it. Does it have
anything
feel to it when you touch it?
And sitting here and it lost its terps. It could have been in this bowl several days ago.
Yeah.
The last time I used it, when did I pack it? I probably packed it and forgot it.
Yeah. That happens. It's okay.
Oh,
there's mine.
You know what? Yesterday, I didn't vape at all yesterday when I dropped the kiddo off at the college, which made the whole day weirder, but I kind of wanted it to be vapeless.
Right.
So, here's the case, by the way. on the Venty. This is the vape that I carry in my pocket if I'm just like vaping weed on the go, doing errands, running, doing my life type shit. I'll carry herb in one of those little doob tubes. Like I'll grind up a couple nugs and I'll scoop all the weed out into the tube. And I wish I could show you the tube, but I'm always losing them fucking things. And I filled one with Advil for my kid, so I gave it away. But I carry like a doob tube filled with the dry herb and this, and that the Venty is a vape that I could pull out, hit the button, and just vape with while doing things, whether I'm conversing with somebody, walking somewhere, talking, working, whatever I'm doing. I can just mindlessly get a bowl and like, oh, I need a vape bowl, or I want a vape bowl while doing this task. The Venty is a mindless vape that I can pull out and rely on to do that. So that's why the Venty wins my pocket win reach test. I think I got the words in some different orders there, but you get the gist of it.
Super easy to share. I mean, everybody gets the same hit. Doesn't matter how hard or weak they hit it, how long or short they hit it. The accuracy and control on this thing is really impressive with the ways they measure it. So let's see. What have you got yours set to? Are you at 410 or
385 now? See, I've kind of changed it up. Like, I don't know, you're gonna encourage me to start low and go high. That's why they work those features in there. And I've kind of enjoyed it. And I think what has won me over is when I get distracted. And this is actually plays into the temp drop. And I've seen a lot of people complain about when you double tap and you boost it. Like right now, I double tapped it, boosted it up to 410. But now I'm at 410, right? Let's say I get distracted. I forget that I'm vaping because I'm telling a really fucking funny joke, and I don't want to take a hit in the middle of my funny joke, and I don't want to be coughing during the punchline. So I'm talking and I'm talking and I'm talking. And I'm not passing the vape because I'm a fucking asshole. I'm bogarting this shit, And after so many minutes, even I'm not hitting it, the vape's going to drop back to 385, and it drives a lot of people nuts. A lot of people are pissed off by it, but I learned to love it in the effect that it saves my bowl. If you look, I'm not losing vapor right now.
Right.
This isn't quite like the Mighty. Remember the Mighty? You'd pack the Mighty, turn it on, and if you weren't vaping it, it was constantly trickling vapor. It's a hybrid conduction-convection vape, and the Venty is as well. And even though it's heating that bowl, it's not really cooking. It's not really vaporizing. Nothing's coming out of the mouthpiece. If we can get the focus. Right? See anything?
Right on. Nah.
Even though it's at 410. The Mighty wasn't like that.
Have you hit it at that temp yet?
I haven't. I was trying to wait for it to drop to demonstrate. Oh, there we go. Now it finally dropped. So some people are upset about that feature, but I've learned to like it because now when I hit it, I don't think I lost any terps. It didn't cook. It was like just waiting for me right there. Just waiting for me. I'll package it up.
Did that feel like a hotter hit, like in the 400s?
Yeah, this thing heats up, ready to go. It's punchy. Now we get some vapor.
I just like how easy it is. I mean, the term I like to use is work. There's no work involved in this. You just breathe vapor.
It's so smooth and fluffy.
Makes it easier on the lungs.
Yeah, it is. People were very impressed with this at the Growers Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like It's like Scotty from the Dude Grow show tried it, loved it, wanted to share it. Like, hey, he wanted his daughter to hit it, wanted other people to hit it. We were loading fresh bowls. It's impressive. Until the price becomes part of the conversation, and then people are like, oh, shit, it's like a volcano, you know? Exactly. It's like a volcano in your pocket.
Damn, getting high, Troy.
Bruh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just turned mine up to 410.
To 410. That's where I was just at.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh, Troy. Taking it to the head today, man. This is great. I'm done with this one.
Yep. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Oh, Lord. That's the most evenly cooked load I've dumped out of any vape tonight. I mean, that's what Stores and Bickle's known for, man, is perfectly cooking your shit every time. No stirring, no thinking,
No
no
thinking.
nothing. Just fucking vape. Just
Do you use
breathe.
capsules? Oh, damn it. I wanted to show you the easiest part.
What's that?
Did you see how I just emptied it? It's so
Yeah,
easy
like-
to just bloop. That's one of my favorite things about the Stores and Bickle portables. I love that about the Venty. I love it even more with the Venty. Did I just say Venty twice? I meant Mighty.
Right.
Loved it with the Mighty. Love it even more with the Venty. Done with the bowl. Pop it out. You want to do another one? Just pop it in. If you got a scoop, no big deal. You can use a pinch. It's very easy to load. You can even put whole nugs in here, Jerry, which I know you love. It's easy to keep going. Just like keep the sesh going. A portable sesh vape that just powers the sesh. The Venty can truly do it. It's a lot of vape. It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of vape. It's a lot of vape. It really is. It really is. And they've had some problems. They had some early problems with the airs. Some people are still having some problems. But for the most part, most people are getting good vapes and they're having good experiences. And a lot of people are reporting Venties with 150 hours, 200 hours already, which, as Jurgen spoke about when we seshed with him in LA, he pointed out that people with the Venty are vaping differently than they vaped with the Mighty, or maybe it's a sign of the times, you know, the sign of the expansion of drier vape culture. But he said the people with the Venties are putting in a lot of hours. They're using it more heavily than the average Mighty usage, you know, from their data.
That's brilliant. That means the market's coming around and the products are improving. All of it. That's great. That's fucking great, bro.
They're becoming more of a mainstay and less of a novelty.
Love it. Oh man.
Let's see if there's a green bowl in this last.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's even better. It's a spent one, Jerry.
Oh, of course. That's what I expect to see.
Yep.
Yeah, next up is the Taffy Bowl. I'm rocking the shorty stem here as if it were made without a cup. It comes with a cup that goes on top. Is just a cup. Doesn't vape at all. It's just a cup. So you can have a drink with your vape. Vape, though. I didn't think that it was going to be this much better than the earlier version, quite frankly, Troy. I thought it'd be a little tighter, you know, this, that, and the other, but man, the bottom and top temperatures have been tweaked, and I love what they did. The battery life is crazy as fuck. you're getting blazing fucking one and done ridiculous bowls, crazy counts. Pretty impressive, this thing. This is, I mean, when it first came out, I thought it might be best portable vape, and to me, it feels like it really is, like, in the conversation. I think it has to be in the conversation. What'd you get over there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a text from my daughter saying she walked 8 miles today.
Oh wow, that's a lot, man. That's a long day at Universal, bro. That's a lot.
Jerry, I'm not gonna lie. I am higher than a giraffe's pussy right now. So if I get distracted, you just gotta like poke me in the
Praise, man. I'll bring you back.
neck or something.
These things are awesome, man. Little pots. They could be dosing capsules in a way. I mean, they're basically bowls that come out. You can't use it without them. They don't have lids. You don't need them.
I really like the metal upgraded Potter, although it does get dirty. Like after like a half ounce or so, I find I need to like poke clean it and really get a bunch of herb out of the crevices and stuff. You get it gunked up. It's not as good as the old mate in terms of grinding and staying functional. When this one gets dirty, it feels like you're trying to smear a crunchy peanut butter on a soft bagel, you know?
Yeah, mine got dirty pretty quickly, actually, to the point where it was kind of hard to use. And I'm so spoiled by the old mate that I would rather use my old mate and onesie them, as I go.
Oh, wow.
So I just use my old mate and I just scoop out of that right straight into the into the pot. So, but the fucking thing loads them flawlessly. Like, I don't know if it was me that was messy or if it's just grinding in general, but the fill was great. And it was really cool to run around with 8 of them in there like you do. That's pretty fun.
That's exactly why I love it. Like I'll preload all 4 and then I'll do the swap. I'll put the preload, the four filled in the basement and then fill the top 4. Yeah. And then carry it like that with 8. Well, and then I'll manually fill 1. So I have 1 in the vape and then 8 more ready to go. And
Right.
Dude, like with other vapes, like I remember with the Mighty packing capsules and packing like 10 capsules. I'm like, there's more capsules here than the Mighty can vape on a single charge. Like if I travel with both, I'm guaranteed to come home with 3 of these full because the Mighty can't do it.
Yeah.
Now with this, it's like, it's nice that the Taffy Bowl has such massive battery potential. Like I know this thing's going to get me through the whole fucking day. Like I remember when we were at that Venty release party and they handed everybody a Venty, or not everybody. They handed some people, so they handed some people Venties.
Yeah.
And you were like, what happens if I kill it tonight? And they're like, oh, you won't kill that. But if you do, don't worry. We'll get you. But you don't worry about that. And you're like, oh, watch this, motherfuckers. And Jerry was just like marathon bowling, like bowl after bowl after bowl, just puffing on the Venti like you did like 16 bowls or whatever. He killed it. Got another one. I don't know that you could do that with this. Maybe you could. But like when I was doing my battery test and I was intentionally like just trying to push it, I would go through 3, 4, 5 pots with it and just be like done. Like I'm donezo. Like I can't do it anymore. And then it went on for 3 days. Like my battery tests, all 3 times I've done it, took multiple days.
Yeah. Strong bowls and lots of them. I hear you on that, man. I remember when I first got excited about vaporizing and I was thinking about how much weed I was saving. And I remember I would tell people, Look, man, if you decide to vaporize instead of smoke, you can go get a quarter ounce and sit down and try to vape it all like you would smoke it all, but you only get through a couple of grams at most, and you'll be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You just can't do it. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
But this thing, man, full convection on demand, fantastic temperature control. It's just the vapor on this is delightful. I think it's probably my favorite vapor as far as just it's flavorful, it's punchy, and it's controlled. It never leaves the zone. And I fucking love that. And I do like these new temperatures. I like the extra low one and I like the extra high one. Well, I'm gonna roll in at 4 out of 5 on this. What are you going straight to 5?
I am going straight to 5. And I want to show you how fast this heats up, because this thing is so fast. When I tap the button once, or it's already activated. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, it's already activated, but it's not heating right now. It's just in standby mode. When I tap the button, it's gonna change green or blue, and then it's gonna change to green or blue when it's ready. And it only takes like 2 seconds, if that. I just want to make sure that it's focused on the fucking lights. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. There, it's ready.
That was it. I mean, it's like a second. You go right on it, and you'll get vapor right away. Like, watch my man here. He's not going to exhale nothing. He's probably going to kill that whole bowl the way he's going at it. This is going to be huge. Yeah. I'm going to go on 4.
Fucking lovely. Fucking lovely. Let me show you the roast.
A lot left in that, I'll bet. Ooh.
Yeah, with this weed, I get about 3 hits per bowl. It's pretty potent shit.
Wow.
I find that the more dense it is with the trichomes, the more hits I get out of it.
There's mine. That was a real green tasting hit, and I've easily got another one in there, so I'm not even going to stir it. I'm just going back in.
Yeah, I don't stir with this one. I don't know how to get the display back to the way it was. Sorry.
Oh, I love the signature on this thing. It's got a thump.
Dude, so much of the terps are gone compared to the first hit. The second hit it tasted like a second hit. It tasted like a cleanup hit. Like there wasn't much left. Like I could take a third hit, but it's gonna be midsy. I'm gonna stir it just to maximize what I can get out of it.
I'm gonna try it too. I never stir this, but I'm gonna try it just for the fuckery.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, after stirring it, it looks like it's all fucking toasted. But I'm gonna hit it again for science, for demonstration purposes. Yeah. Yeah. The purpose of this record is to demonstrate a neglected factor in phonal pickup design, namely the ability of the pickup to stay in contact with the groove modulation over a wide range of frequencies and intensities. In other words, to track the groove.
Was that like a quote from something?
I don't know, man.
It sounded like you were reading it like that's. I feel like I've heard that shit before.
It's from. I don't know what it's sampled from. It's sampled from something and put into some DJ Magic Mike music.
Okay. I can get behind that.
And for some reason I fucking memorize it because I've heard it so many times.
Yeah. You did a great job with it. That's why I was like, dude, you feel like you're reading that shit. Oh wow.
Sometimes I have like an auditorial memory. You know?
Damn, Troy. All right. So listen. We beat up all these vapes tonight. What are you gonna? You can only do one of these. Which one are you gonna do?
If I could only do one. Is there any other context to the reason that I can only do one? Like, did the world end?
No, let's say you can only afford one vape for the next year. It's going to be one of these portables. You can only get one portable vape.
Probably the Venty.
Yeah.
But again, context, like if we were going into like super lockdown or something and I wasn't ever going to go out and I was just going to vape at home, you know, like if I'm not reviewing vapes anymore,
right.
that kind of shit.
Yep.
Maybe the Taffy Bowl too, because if I'm not putting it in my pocket, the Taffy Bowl wins.
Right.
A lot of like if they're both sitting here on my desk and I'm doing shit, I'm probably reaching for the Taffy Bowl more than the Venty, unless I'm gonna vape and do something. You know what I mean? Like maybe for a change up, but I feel like the Taffy Bowl would probably win in like a desk to desk portable sesh vape challenge. I would have to do it. I would have to like turn off my ball vapes and lock them away or something, and just leave the Venty and the Taffy Bowl here.
Right.
You know, and see what happens. Who wins? Who's next?
Right. Yeah, I think just after using all these right here tonight, that the Taffy would be my first pick. I like that vapor the best. For me, that's my favorite vapor of everything we've hit tonight is the Taffy Ball. Yeah, there's just something about it, man. To me, it has the control of a Storz and Bickel, but the punch of something else. You know what I mean? And I like that. So, and honestly, yeah, I haven't tried to make this pocketable, but I think I could give it a go. Like if I was really tried hard, I could probably come up with something like, I don't know if it's tape over the bowl or I don't know what it is, or maybe take the mouthpiece off here. I don't know what it is, but there's a way, you know what I mean? There's something to figure out.
I've carried it just like that.
Okay.
It's awkward, but it works. Like
Right.
I've stuffed that into my pocket.
Okay.
Just like that.
Did you do it like, so it's like this and the mouthpiece is hanging out or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
And then eventually it went into the pocket and then just like poked out, held my head. I had a little side boner.
That's kind of funny, man.
But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was just more awkward to get in and out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, only the TinyMight and Lobo are going to fit in our pocket with all these anyhow. I mean, the Solo 3 is bigger than the Venty for Fuck's sake. So, the Vap Cap, but I wouldn't grab that first. So, yeah. Well, right on, man. Right on. So basically, we're recommending the most expensive vape we can find. That's what we're doing.
Well, I mean,
Sorry,
it depends,
guys.
Again, it really depends on how frequently you're going to vape. Like, are you going to vape once a day, multiple times per day, multiple times per week, once a week? Like, a lot of people only vape, like on a Friday night or on a Saturday night or both. Maybe Thursdays too. Sundays, solid on Sunday. Not everybody needs a vape that they can plow through 10 bowls a day with. Like, I want to make sure that we're covering that. Like, if you're only vaping on the weekends, dude, something like the Lobo is plenty good enough. Like, you don't need to overspend. Beyond 200, you're paying for luxuries. You're paying for battery power. You're paying for nicer vapor. Paying for different extraction levels.
Yep.
Nicer materials.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I mean, look, what am I going to recommend the most? The Lobo. It's a third the price of the fucking bowl here, man. You know what I mean? It's a third the price. Literally, you can get 3 Lobos for this and go give them to your friends and keep one for yourself. I mean, it's absurd. You shouldn't have to pay that much money, but it is an exceptional vape. And yeah, I feel like I finally got what I wanted out of this thing. Now, granted, you got to remember, I like the cup. Like, I run around, I will have the big stem and the cup on it and use it as a fucking cup. Like, I fell for the cup when I first met the cup. Like, I was told the story of the cup, and I was asked to entertain the cup, and I had a great time with the cup. So I like the cup. And
yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. I've reached a point where I'm like entertained by the people that dislike the cup, the people that are like vocal about it, and I don't know. I'm curious. It's the same. It's like the same thing about the Cybertruck. Like, when people are extremely vocal about something that they don't have and don't like I don't understand that energy, I guess. And I feel like I've done it. And now that I've observed others doing it, I'm like, oh, I want to make sure that I don't do this.
yeah.
So I reflect on that display of emotion and the usage of energy.
Beautiful. Yeah. Don't hate on it, man. That energy is no good. Plus, you'll miss out on an awesome vape. But yeah, they definitely did a great job with this. USB-C now. The port is still under the cup, so I still have to separate the two to charge it. There's not wireless charging, but it has a way better battery life. USB-C, and fuck, there was one more thing I was going to say about that, but I guess I forgot. So,
Wait, I got more to say. I'm fucking high and rambly.
yeah.
And I can speak from experience on this, because I come from the hate, Jerry.
Right on.
My motto used to be fueled by hate. Like, I led a hateful life for a while, and then I learned that love and hate are both sides of the passion coin. They're both passion, love and hate. So where I had hate, it meant that I had passion. And when I dug deeper into my own hate, I found something better to do with that same energy, and spending it on passion rather than hate made me feel fulfilled rather than toxic and spiteful, and
Right on.
I would like other people to do that. I would wish that upon anybody who's feeling hate. Like, dig deeper, explore that energy, Figure out what's going on. Figure out what's fueling that, and try to redirect it. Rather than standing in a fucking sprinkler, pick up that garden hose and grow some weed. Redirect the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Say it again. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'd rather be positive than negative. So I've mentioned that before. You and I have talked about it before too. Like when we talk about topics and things, like to talk about on the stream, it's like, it would be a great topic that people would click all day long is like the 5 worst vapes ever. But I would hate to make that video. It's like
we did that for grinders. Remember that?
yeah. Well, and I didn't like you were
didn't
the
want
grinder
to.
king. I didn't
Yeah.
have any. Like I had like 5 grinders at the time, and you were like all kinds of crazy ass grinders. But yeah, you're right. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I remember that. And we did it peacefully. Like we didn't. Well, kind of. Like I've watched a video a couple times.
Right.
We talked some shit about some shitty grinders, but I mean, objectively, you put a nug into something and turn it around. If it just smears it around, it's not doing a good job of grinding. We're like going out of our way to bash things that are so functional. They just weren't functional. They weren't all that functional.
You had a few that weren't. You really did. They were pretty fucked up. So yeah. But yeah, that's just the whole energy thing. Like I would rather spend my time telling you how much I love this fucking Taffy Bowl than how much I think something else sucks. It just a different energy for me. So
yeah. And I took the bowl or the cup portion off, and for me, that's a weird looking vape. That's a weird musical note. Maybe looks like one of those onomatopoeia, those little battery operated things that you play the music. I forget what it's called. I keep forgetting the word. Monotone, something tone, onomatopoeia tone, something. It's like a little. You know what I'm talking about? Little. You be like play the songs and shit with it.
A something-o-phone, something-o-phone or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the fucking word. I can't say the word now that I've fucked it up so many times.
Right.
Automaton. Yeah.
Automaton.
Sure, man. Yeah, it looks like one of those, like with a little slide thing on there. Yeah, but it's not. It'd be funny if it was like build one of those into it, huh? That way you could like be blowing vapor and then you could be playing Iron Man while vaping and getting high. Bro, I kind of want it. I kind of want it now.
You're onto something.
Bruno, can we make this happen? I don't think it'd be that hard. Like if you put a sensor strip in here and like an Arduino on the bottom, you could even hack one together. Just build one. Build an electric one. Oh my God, is there
everything you need? You could just put it in the cup, like all that shit.
But I need access to this thing.
Yeah, but don't put anything down here. I'm saying you just put your Arduino and all that shit in the cup. You can put whatever you need in the cup, and then your access is down here. So he's got built-in space for whatever you need, man. You want that shit? The fucker on there. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But this is what you're supposed to look like with the cup. I don't have my cup on here because I've broken it and it's got a pretty good crack in it. So
now we're talking right there. A snow globe version. Dude, imagine the cup, but like it's a snow globe. And then every time you take a hit, it's like Cheech and Chong in there. And like,
that's a great idea.
Dude, there's so many accessories.
That's a good Christmas accessory for Taffy.
My daughter collects snow globes. Maybe Taffy Bowl finally won't look dumb to her. Hater.
Right? You could also just turn this into an aquarium. You could put a fish in here and a little pump and
oh my God, that's a great idea.
A little beta in here, a little beta fish.
That's a great idea, Jerry.
Not a cup, it's an aquarium, motherfucker. I guess what we do. I like the lava lamp too.
Yeah, you're giving me so many ideas now. Oh man, you're gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Monkey, good seeing you, man. Take it easy. That's awesome.
All right, Jerry. What's
We
going
good?
on? I think we're good. I think
We're pushing
so.
3 hours. We're almost into tomorrow.
Dude, yeah, 2 hours on 6 vapes. Whew, that was a doozy.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy
Yeah, we'll be
Friday.
here next week. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but we'll figure it out. I appreciate Planet of the Vapes for sponsoring the stream and all they do to keep this thing, help us keep it going. And don't forget to use code Troy and Jerry everywhere, except a riser word. You put a 20 on the end of it. But yeah, put that fucker in everywhere and see what happens. We got a lot of places now, actually. So use that code.
Yeah, and Stores and Bickle, if you want to save 10% on the Venty instead of 20% on the Venty at Planet of the Vapes, if you want to buy from Stores and Bickle, you could use code TJ10.
That's funny.
If you wanted to save 10% instead of 20%.
It's the best.
See you guys next Friday.
Yeah, thanks.
Pizza.